Hey, everybody, welcome back. We are in episode 13. So far, we're having a great time. But last week, we ended up backtracking a little bit. We started out with everybody waking up after crashing at the Lion Shield Coster. You had got a chance to finally meet Halia, which you turned out to be an ogre of some sort, which quite surprising.
We were scared.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
Sister Guriel was there as well, and you were able to meet with the leaders of the Lion Shield Coster and the other mercantile, so that you were able to finally get paid by the town for your work. Well done. So you saw Elmer and Lenine, and Guriel, and then her husband were over there. After that, you decided through the rain that you were going to backtrack to the Tresender manor and look for the shield. On your way there in the downpouring rain, you came across the grave that was marked for Sildar.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of strange to you. You're not sure what caused this grave to be there. And if the body's even there, you're not sure. But you took for granted that it was, and you decided not to disturb that grave. Afterward, you just dwelled into the Tresender Manor and didn't really find much other than the random treasure and things that you might find in a warren that you might have plucked from the bodies and things before. You found a few small secret items that were helpful, minor items here and there.
In that opening, the cold cave was closed.
Right. I mean,
Something changed.
but the strange thing was that cavern was sealed over. The cavern that had been opened before, where that woman, a Moraine, had darted into the darkness, that cavern was just wall now. You tried everything to get through it, but not able to get through. You decided to return back to Gariel. But on your way back, you had to return a hat. So you did that. You went
They
back
had to
to
return the hat. I had no part.
yeah. You decided that you're going to return a hat. So you met with Aquelin, the halfling, and Connor and Carp, and there you had a strange dinner. She had said that she was herself a shadow assassin. You don't know what that was all about. She had some strange card playing. She got Gashar to bet an illusion, which she didn't seem to take too kindly to. And then he cast darkness, and for whatever reason, everything fell apart. Eventually, you all.
It was falling apart long before that.
That's true. Yeah, that was
clarify.
That was a slow destruction of Gashar's ability to communicate with. I'm just saying. I think that's that's like the final straw in the reason why Gashar should not knock on the door first.
Yeah, you can
But,
stand
hey,
it back next time.
It's your characters. You do what you do. You. That's all I say.
Yeah, it's not like we have a bartender party or something.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So after that, you gathered up and returned back to Gariel. Gariel said after that she had really was hoping that you would, now that you've taken care of this Tresender manor, and that this glass staff has fled into the darkness, into the night, and you don't know what happened to them, that hopefully you had time to find her, to follow her quest. But you really want to find this your dwarf. You really want to find where your dwarven companion is. And so instead, Quellanin has said that she will send a message to Rydoth the Druid, because Rydoth the Druid knows everything about this area, but she doesn't know where she's at. It's going to take a few days. So in the meantime, you've decided, we're going to help out Gariel, since she has been sort of helpful to you. And so you spent the evening at Gariel's place, the group of you, and you were hoping that in the morning you're going to head down several miles, down maybe a 2-day journey down the Triboar Trail toward Conyberry, north of that, to find the spirit Agatha. So you were told a few things by Gariel about Agatha, so hopefully you remembered them. So from there, let's go ahead and get started. You wake up the next morning, it's early, and you are in the home of Sister Gariel.
We have no problems waking up in this house compared to the other house, right?
Hemo, let's start with you. No, I'm teasing.
Is there an armored ogre at the door.
So now that you've woken up with no ogres around you and no undead in sight, Sister Gariel is making eggs on her stove. She will place them out for everybody, along with a little bit of wine or beer, and that's what she has. And she doesn't have a table or anything, but she's going to just give you small little wooden bowls she has. Her wooden bowls are mismatched, and they're just sort of gathered and collected from wherever. You don't know where she's got these from. But she seems to be in a good mood, since you all are going to be taking on her quest for her.
After helping clean up the place.
Yes,
It's early in the morning, isn't it?
it is. You don't sense that it's raining outside anymore. You haven't gone out to check, but it seems like it's probably not bright and sunny, but you don't see any raindrops or smacking against the window, and you don't get the sense outside that it's raining.
It's not as creepy of a day out. Hemo pours himself a glass of wine and says, "It's a bit earlier in the day for wine, isn't it, Gariel?" As he takes a sip.
She smiles and she says, "Well, there's a well just outside if you'd like to help yourself to that."
Flander just
That's-
goes out and
That's where
the wine will
Uh-huh.
be just fine. Thank you.
All right, Waif, you exit out the back easily enough. There is a small well behind Sister Gariel's. Yeah, Sister Gariel's house. Easy enough. All right, she feeds everybody, and as she does, she's chattering to you, and she says, "I hope that you find this Agatha in one piece. I hope that she's there and appears to you. I'm very excited."
If she is
Why
a
wouldn't she
spirit,
be in one piece?
would she not be in multiple pieces?
Well, she's a spirit, and I don't know if she is put together enough to answer the questions. Rumor has it that she will, but I don't know.
One more time with the question.
We're looking for the journal.
Yes, I'm asking you if you can go in to find a journal. I want to know where Longwreath's journal has gone. If you recall, Longwreath was within the town of Conyberry when the town of Conyberry fell, and I'm hoping that Agatha, rumor has it, was lost at the same time. I'm hoping that she knows whereabouts this Longwreath journal might have disappeared to.
Long reef.
Longwreath,
Wreath, like
Yeah.
a wreath.
yeah, like a wreath.
Mhm.
Longwreath.
It's
Yeah.
a big wreath.
And do we all get one question? What are the sort of genie rules with this ghost? Do
Well,
we get one each? Because that we might need to strategize a little bit what we're going to ask this girl.
I don't know. I would recommend that you assume the worst. That you
All
only
right.
get one question to ask.
I think when dealing with spirits of this nature, you have to persuade them and talk to them in the right way.
Too bad we don't have like
Gain their
a
trust.
cleric of the dead on our
Mm.
side.
I'm guessing Ashar's going to be doing all the talking.
Me
I've
too.
been trying
Please,
to
no.
recommune with Kellenvor, and I've been having difficulty lately.
All right.
It just means I gotta level up and get more spells.
Or there's a God Slayer somewhere. Who knows?
So, Finis, are you? I clearly are prepared, and I believe, Finis, do you prepare your spells in the evening before you go to bed?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. So you awake, and you are enriched by the powers of your divine rights of Kalimdor. So you have actually all of your spells and magic.
Excellent.
The power of Kelmavar compels you.
I have the power.
Are you able to speak with the dead or see the spirits? Do you have anything that'll help us find
I've never
the ghost?
had much direct control over those abilities up until, or I've just never had control over when I speak with those in the
Well,
veil.
Are there two dead people here? I brought the.
Hemo
Hands up of my arm.
I
Yeah.
fully
brought
looks
two back.
around to see if there's anybody behind him.
Let's see if we can find a talker.
Yeah, if you recall that you did bring back the body of someone you're suspecting as Thal and of Eula, and Gariel had moved those bodies. but they're in the neighbor's house.
You could talk with them.
Mm,
Oh,
I can try.
Well,
yeah.
I guess maybe then you're just like the rest of us. We'll all keep our minds open or whatever it is you use for all the bell stuff. Hemo puts his hands on his sword.
He is
Finishes
only
his
a third of a
glass
wizard.
of wine. I am but a third of a wizard. Because I know
All
you
right.
can't rely on that stuff.
All right. Is there anything else you're going to do while you're in the house of Sister Gariel? She feeds you and she will allow you to drink, and she will also allow you to have. She has 1 day of tack rations or field rations that she will give each of you if you so choose to take those. That's all the supplies she currently has. She's also given you healing potions last night.
Thank you.
You should already have those on your sheet.
Kishar tries to give her a hug.
Mhm.
She'll hesitantly kind of lean in, kind of like she does that
The side
hug that she does that hug that you would do if you have to hug your great aunt, you know, who smells as mothballs. She's just
Arms
like,
extended,
It's just like-
elbows fully out, hands
Yeah.
over the upper back.
yeah.
Thank you.
It looks like I
Okay,
actually
I'll go
won't get
outside and wait
speak
for
I
with
her.
love
David
you,
till
Aunt
fifth level.
Agatha.
Oh wow.
And
I guess
Flander
we'll-
just takes a deep bow and just says, thank you for everything, Sister Gariel.
She puts a hand on your shoulder and nods and says, I'm about to thank you for everything you're about to do.
Your hospitality has been very welcome.
So Waif goes out to when she went out for water, she
Yeah.
also went out to the temple, the shrine,
Yes.
and put 7 more copper pieces in the cup.
All right. When you go there, you notice that most of the copper has been removed. Now, that's not uncommon. Oftentimes, on a special day or a special holiday, the priests will remove those and use them for whatever they would normally use for their priestly duties. For example, like Lathander might use it to pay for the sick or the poor or whatever. So you see most of the coins are gone. There's one been placed in there, but you put the coins into the fountain. I would like you to give me a straight up charisma roll. 17. All right. Noted. Okay.
But she just water coins in.
Yep. Nope. That's no problem. You certainly do that. Okay. So you've watered yourself and you have loaded the coins up. Cool. All right. Anything else you're going to do? Seeing how you are hanging out in Sister Gabriel's house.
Shar's standing outside waiting for you all to come out.
Is Barthen's Provisions open today?
Absolutely, it's open.
Okay, because Hemo needs just a couple of things. Well, first he's going to attempt to hawk his old armor.
Sure.
If
Sure.
you can give that a shot.
Everything's open and everyone is farting rainbows. It's a beautiful place.
Nice. All right, so you're gonna head over to Barthen's Provisions.
Yeah, I wave a few rainbows away from my nose as I go, I guess.
All right, you exit the house and head up to Barthen's. It's the shortest walk you can imagine. As you do so, you hear a chiming ring as you walk down the road, and it gets louder until you come upon the smithy. There you can see the smithy, and as you walk past the smithy, there he has 2 apprentices helping him. He's hammering some type of probably a horseshoe. It looks like he's got it in the clamps, and he's hammering it down. And he stops for 1 second. And he looks over at you as you pass by. He goes, and then just goes back and starts hammering.
To all of us?
Just to Hemo.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Hemo's the only one I know who's going to Barthen's. Anybody else going to Barthen's?
Yeah, Hemo would announce. He's like, I need to visit the Provisions before we go.
Sure. You walk up
You
to
don't have to
Barthen's.
carry that extra armor around?
You walk up to Barthen's,
do you want it?
You walk up to Barthen's. The side doors are open, and you can see two probably assistants are in the back organizing some supplies, and you can see Barthen is walking. Elmer Barthen is walking into his shop. You think he had walked out from the supply area, and he's walking toward the shop. He stops and looks back as you're approaching. Hemo, hi. Oh, what can I help you with?
Well, I ran out of rope fighting the bandits that used to be in your town. We're gonna need another 50 feet of it.
Oh, yes. Well, the least I can do is give you some rope. I believe I have some back here. No problem. One moment, please.
Would you happen to have silk rope?
Did you walk up behind him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
wasn't
assuming
sure.
we're going as a party.
I didn't know. I asked, but going as a party is
sorry,
perfectly
yeah,
fine.
it
Yes. You can walk up and he'll kind of give rubs his chin. He goes, "Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look and see." He says, and he wanders back, and you can see he steps back down toward the back area, and he starts searching through his supplies. It isn't long until he walks out, and he has with him a 150 feet of silk rope, which he will hand to Hemo, and he's going to give that to you.
Oh, well, thank your generosity is much appreciated. It's the saving your town was the least we could do. That
He's
does
like, well, I hope he
complicate
I hope he can consider this even then for us.
Yes, that just makes my second question kind of awkward. Do you purchase used armor?
Oh, not I. I don't deal in armor. That's not really what I do. You can go to the coster though. I know that Lenine does deal in armor there. She normally doesn't hold it out, but I know she has plenty in stock behind the counter in the back. She'll probably be able to help you.
And you could always go to, the smith. He would probably buy it from you. She laughs, pats him on the shoulder, and walks out.
Yeah, we also have something here that we picked up in there. All I've got written down here is a thing worth 50 gold. I'm not quite sure what the thing is.
A thing worth 50 gold. Do you happen to have a page number or an identity or
or a skew?
Yeah, you have a skew. Yeah.
Was it that
I believe it was like a pearl or something.
Mhm.
Wasn't it some
Some
kind of
little
jewel?
piece of loot from the cave or the
Yep.
Or was it a
Yeah,
statuette?
ruins.
Mhm.
there was?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you really have to keep a little better notes than a
Yeah.
thing. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I was just writing things down as they were quoted.
All right. You know what I'll do is I'll call that to be a gem worth 50 gold. How about that?
Yeah, we found
Okay.
a.
I mean, we
I found a gem
pocket
worth
full of
50
gems.
gold. Do you happen to buy things like that?
Oh, I can certainly deal in some gems for you, sir. Allow me to take a look at it, please. And he holds his hand out, and he grabs a magnifying glass, and he brings it over to appears to be almost looks like a bar about this big. It's a little metal bar, and when he sets it down and he spins it, the whole thing lights up. It flares up into a magical glowing light. Now you've seen these little lanterns type of things in various towns, including all the places you've been before. So it's not really surprising that these ever burning torches type things are around. But this one actually can turn off and on, which is kind of cool. So he comes on and he sets it down and does a little spin, and it flares up. And he looks at the jewel in the glass, and he looks at somebody and goes, "Well, I could give you 30 gold for it."
30
Just
gold
keep it.
seems
It's far less weight than
fairly
30
fair.
gold. So save it.
Mhm.
As
yeah. Maybe I'll hang on to it for now. But
All
thank you
right.
for your appraisal.
Sure. And then he says that well, if there's anything else I can do for you, let me know.
One more thing. Do you have a bag of ball bearings, like about 1,000 little bits of metal, like metal balls to help things roll? You have anything like that?
I don't know. Allow me to find out by letting my dungeon master roll the dice.
I just watched a YouTube thing on ball bearings. It's funny.
I happen to have
one of my players.
I happen to
use
have a
ball
bag
bearings
right
very
here.
well.
Strange that you would ask for these. They just came in.
Ah, yes, they're
They're on that ship that you brought in.
very multi-purpose. Oh, really? Well, then perhaps I just delivered you some business. I'll pay for this one. I'll pay full price. Don't. You've
Yes.
already been generous enough.
You're welcome. You may have my Neverwinter bowls. Yeah. There you are.
Neverwinter balls. It
Yes.
says it right on the bag. Fantastic.
Neverwinter bowls. Yes, yes. We
GM.
we often call them. We just call them Never balls. Yes, yes. There you are. They're quite in style. There you are.
Fascinating. I believe that's just a
Pardon me just one
gold.
moment.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
Well, very well. Enjoy those. For some reason, we get periodically people asking for them. I'm not sure why.
Oh, they're just,
Why you're not an
you know,
adventurer.
he sticks them in his belt pouch. The handy.
Yes,
Is 10 silver worth 1 gold?
yes.
Okay,
I'm back.
so I'll give him 10 silver pieces for it.
Yep. He'll accept them. That's the base price, right?
I believe so, yeah.
All right. Well, if there's anything else I can get you from anything that's listed in the player's handbook, I'd be certainly willing to deal with it for you. Allow me to check in the back.
Nope, I think that's me done. A general
Well,
store would carry a net, but unless you're a martial class, you probably wouldn't be able to use it very well.
You don't get proficiency with it, right?
Yeah, no.
Right. Well, if there's anything else, I'd be happy to help you. Please come back again.
If we're still alive, sure.
It looks like a dry day after a grand soft evening last night and a long day in the rain.
I like to blame it on the rain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shall we go?
Oh, are you heading out of town?
Yeah.
Apparently
I
so.
would be careful. The tribal road can get quite soft after a long, deep rain like this.
Do you perhaps carry pitons then?
Oh, of course. I have plenty of them.
I'll just,
How many do you need?
oh, probably 10 of them. I
All
imagine
right.
if,
You need a hammer
if
as
the
well.
road's uneven.
What are you going to use them for?
Climbing.
When Hemo heard uneven roads, he was thinking he might need to secure this rope to something to create like a climbing rope or
Sure,
to
that might be
lower
possible.
people down from something.
Yeah.
Do you have
Pitons would hammer it into the wall.
a grappling hook?
No.
You should probably have a grappling hook.
So you're
Let's
allowed
do
to.
that.
You're basically allowed to buy any common item that isn't a weapon or armor from Barthens right now. You can just let me know what you're going to buy, but you can buy it at the base players.
All right. A grappling hook is 2 gold. And a hammer is 1 gold. And a piton, whatever it is 5 silver. Dang. I actually don't have that much money.
Just buy a burglar's pack. 16 gold pieces.
I can't justify that kind of expense right now, he says, with his pouch open. Just oh gosh.
Shar, are you going to buy anything?
I'll just get 2 pitons.
Okay.
I
fair
don't know
enough.
what happened, but I don't have any.
Finis leans
copper,
into
silver, or gold.
Hemo. Are you a little short for change, friend?
No.
What's that, Kashar?
I don't know what happened, but I don't have any
He
copper,
is.
silver, or gold.
Kashar, did you say that?
I think
Yes.
Kashar says, I don't know what happened. I don't have any copper, silver, or gold.
Mhm. Yes, and we do have a little bit in the
Settle.
in the group treasure as well. So.
I was about to say this sounds like a thing that our party treasure should buy because it is going to be
Absolutely.
used for the good of the entire party.
All right. So Kashar says he doesn't have any money. What are you going to do?
Does anybody else have empty coin purse?
Finis checks his pockets.
All right. What do you have listed?
I have 59 gold pieces, 32 silver, and 5 copper.
Okay, that's what you find.
You guys are getting gold?
Mhm.
That
This is from selling
But-
my previous wares.
Anyways, Hemo will take 6 gold out of the party thing to get 8 more of those climbing spikes and a grappling hook to
Perfect.
round out his rope kit.
All right, Graham, you're keeping track of the party treasure, right?
Noted and logged.
Nice.
You wouldn't
Cool.
happen to have any ball bearings, would you, sir?
I just bought some.
Well, I did.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, someone else already purchased them. He kind of gives Hemo a little smile.
Well, I needed them for stuff.
Yes,
Stuff.
he needed to play with his Never balls.
Got to show off these never balls to someone at the right time. Anyways, Hemo gathers up his like climbing gear now and gets ready to go.
All right. Anything else you'd like to purchase?
Nope.
Perfect.
Let's go.
All right. You depart from Barthen's. You're back into the main road. Anything else you're going to do in town here before you decide to head out up the Triboar Trail? It's still early in the morning. It's barely after breakfast.
Nope. I think an early start is gonna help. We never know what we'll run into.
You don't. All right. Allow me to change the map on you then. Okay. So you are now on the regional map of the Sword Coast, and you can see yourself are clearly right here in the lovely Phandelver. You're going to head north up the trail, right? Up this way?
Yep.
Yeah, we have to head to Conyberry, which I think goes to the northeast. Yeah.
Yeah, Conyberry was known, as far as you know, to be up the Triboar Trail to the northeast. There's a sign there, but also you were told that it exists up in this kind of area up here. You know that's probably going to take you close to 2 days to get there. So, anything else you're going to do on the way? You begin heading off. Why don't I give some sort of marching order for you?
Finis will take the lead. He's got good perception
All right.
and is armor man.
All right. Who's going to go? Who's going to be behind him?
Gishar.
Gishar. All right.
What's
And then behind
is it like open field out here?
It's a road.
kind of
It's
terrain?
what you see as you move out of the road here up the Phandelver is that it is mostly open prairies with big patches of woods that stretch maybe a quarter or a half, there's quarter to a half a mile in stretches around you. So, and there's clumps of these, and they seem to get fewer and fewer as you head out from Phandelver toward the main road of the Triboar Trail. So, and the main road of the Triboar Trail is quite a distance. You're going to be close to 10 miles to the Triboar Trail from where you're at. So it's going to take you a good part of the day you're probably going to be after lunch before you're going to come close to the Triboar Trail. And as you do, that's going to slowly, the woods itself kind of become less and less and opens up more of a trail. So
Okay.
they're mostly grasslands with spots of clumps of these quarter mile to half mile clumps of trees.
I think Hemo will take up the rear with a longbow at the ready. He
Perfect.
rarely keeps it strung because he likes to throw knives, but he knows that nothing beats the longbow in terms of hitting something far away.
All right, so that is Hemo. Who's going to be behind Hemo, in front of Hemo?
I will be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a
All
little
right.
squishy.
So also
We'll
I'll put
put the squishies in the
Flander at 3 and wait for 4. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, you head out. It is actually a surprisingly breezy day as you emerge from the sort of lowlands area that is surrounded by these mounds all around Phandelver. The wind has been sort of protecting you in this area. You kind of go up the northern trail and emerge out of the proper district of Phandelver and onto the main road. And when you do so, the winds begin picking up. You can feel the winds pushing out. They're warm as they are, but they are definitely strong as the winds blow across from west to east into the from the ocean toward the mainland. You travel for a good part of the today, and it is late in the day, closer to like 1, 2 in the afternoon kind of time, when you finally come to the same area you came before that turns northeast along the Triboar Trail. You've been here before. The signs are still there. Nobody has disturbed it. The road as you travel hasn't had a whole lot of activity. You do see some signs of horse use, and maybe one cart has been through here, but other than that, you don't see much else.
So mildly muddy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty soft for the most part. Before, when you were on here, the rains were a soft mist, and the ground dried up fairly quickly by midday, and most of the ground had dried, other than patches of wet here and there. But now, after all the torrential rain that had been going on, the waters have pulled up quite a bit, and you're kind of moving around very, very soft areas on the ground.
Are there any fresh trails coming to or from the north east route of the Triboar Trail?
When you look at them, you can see that there's been definitely some horse traffic through here, for sure. You're not sure about how many wagons, but you definitely see horse traffic.
He's looking for orc footprints because he remembers that one morning when he was doing
For sure.
And
Why don't you give me a survival roll?
Will do.
Do orcs wear orc boots or just regular boots?
Orc feet at a 14.
Yeah, they have their orc names carved in the bottom of the shoe, so you know exactly who they are. What'd you get?
14.
Okay, looking around, you don't really immediately see anything.
Okay.
So you do see what I said, some horse tracks, but you don't see anything specifically that you would consider movement in a wagon with orcs like you saw before. All right. You guys, anything else you're going to do at this crossroads before heading out up the Triboar Trail? All right. Let me see if you have any encounters. All right. By the time the evening sets in, the evening still comes in fairly late. It's just past middle of summer, so it stays light out fairly long. But you are fairly close to the north, so that makes it even the summer days even longer. But as the summer day comes to a close, it cools down a little bit, and you find yourself massed between the forest to the north and the hills to the south. You're somewhere along about halfway through the halfway mark. We'll say about there. And you find yourself just figuring out what you're going to do for the evening. You don't see anything immediately around you. You're kind of in some prairies or grasslands. Of course, last time you camped outside, you had those problems with those beetles, but that you don't know if that's a problem that has been ongoing and only in that area or along all of the Triboar Trail. What do you guys want to do?
Hemo says, I call second watch, and just flops down in the grass.
All right.
And this is why he was bitten by bugs.
This makes sense.
So you're just gonna hang out next to the road and flop down?
Well, I mean, he's not going to sleep just yet.
I get it.
Kashar thinks this is a reasonable idea. Does anybody else have any other ideas?
Do we want to find a perhaps more defensible spot?
I mean, who's coming after us? We scared all those red brands off. Well,
So
the
there
ones we didn't kill.
Any tree lines or anything, or is it?
Well, you can see some trees to the south, maybe about half a mile to the south. You can travel about half a mile if you want to get to the south and find some tree cover.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's just a few like spattered little, not even that, like onesie twos kind of trees popping out. It's not really anything very defensible nor something that you'd hide a whole party around. If you were by yourself, you might be able to hide behind a tree, but there's enough of you, it's going to be difficult.
My vote would be to go for the tree line.
All right.
Okay. Then I will take the first watch.
Are you going to turn
Yeah.
south and travel to about a half a mile through the hard brush to the tree line?
Half a mile shouldn't be too bad. Let's do it.
If you walk it normally about 3 miles an hour, that would be 20 minutes per mile. So a half mile in tough terrain would be 20 minutes ish.
Yeah, it's going to take you a little bit of time, but it's not going to be the end of the world. All right, you turn into the heavy tree, the heavy growth of the grasslands. It doesn't take much until you're basically up to your waist in these trees. You find your legs get covered in sickles, these little tiny sickles. Some are reddish, some of them are tans. For the most part, nothing really happens other than the fact that there's nuisance for the most part. Yeah. So they're just mostly
sort of like little
nuisance that you move
birds
through. It doesn't take you much until you get to the tree line. You enter the tree line. It's a grove of maybe quarter mile of trees that are kind of clumped together within the trail.
Is the ground any clearer here from grasses?
Not well. And once you hit the tree line, it does. Yeah, it clears out. There's definitely mostly underneath the trees is like ferns, like these wide fern growths, and so it's really difficult to just find a nice, pleasant place to sleep out in the ground. But you can certainly, once you hit the tree lines, you can certainly move them around and create some place to camp.
Kishar just like sort of folds a fern down, and then like it's basically got all those big leaves, and he's just like perfect. And then he like leans on it.
As you do so, a rabbit bursts out and runs into the deeper woods.
Yeah. Actually, he's gonna see if he can grab it real quick.
All right, give me a attack roll.
And do
it's just like a grapple for the most part.
Just a straight attack. I got one of those actually.
Hemo's got his longbow ready. Can he try to shoot the rabbit as it leaves?
Oh, you can, yeah. Right.
Hemo's hungry too.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I got a 12 for my unarmed strike.
All right, you're able to grab it.
He lays down.
He reaches out and grabs at this little rabbit.
Just snap its neck.
Whoa!
He grabs it and snaps the neck.
Should we do a fire?
I'd say.
Yeah. Maybe look around. There might be more, so you can eat too.
All right, Hemo, give me a survival roll.
Sure. I got I'm rolling with advantage. The first one was a 13 though.
All right, you managed to rummage through the forest, and you spend another 10 minutes or so, and you see Hemo returns back with a rabbit that has a hole in it.
Good job.
He'll help make a fire and
all right,
cook some rabbit.
There you go.
All right,
we'll have some of the rations from our companion.
Perfect. Starting a fire takes almost no time. There's plenty of wood around here. Even though it's been wet, you're able to gather up enough dry wood from underneath these ferns and things to put yourself a fire together. You rip apart the rabbits and clean them, and are before you know it, you sit around a group, a fire that's been burning for a while, and a bunch of bones and a happy adventurers full of rabbit.
Little Hassan.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Anybody else gonna do anything this evening?
I want to ritually cast Identify and see what my pebble does.
Oh, imagine that.
Good idea.
All right. You sit down and in front of the fire after eating. You've had your fill. You've had a little bit of a hardtack along with it, just to kind of spread out the food across everybody. And you sit down and you take out this pebble and you look at this pebble. And now it's small. It's only like this big, So you're thinking, it just is a pebble. But then you sit down and you concentrate for about 10 minutes, holding in your hand and closing your eyes and thinking about it. And when you do, nothing happens for the longest time, or 10 minutes. And at that time, you begin to feel a warmth on the pebble in your hand. And in your mind, you see the pebble itself begins shimmering and shaking. And when it does, these flakes or dust or particles are flipping off of this thing, and it's dancing around this rock, this little stone, as if the stone itself is bleeding or emitting these particles all over the place.
He's a fatty fart.
Yeah, and when this thing envelops this rock, you see the rock begin shaking and vibrating very quickly, so quickly that it's difficult to tell where this rock is. It begins dancing and moving, and as it does, you see these fairy flakes, these little glistening gold balls, the little nodules of light bursting all over the place, all around it.
Hemo
And
gets ready to cast shield on himself.
What you think this is you think that once per day or once per long rest, when you hold this in your hand, it is allowing you to place upon yourself the blur spell.
Ooh.
That spell will last as long as you have it in your hand. And so you have to keep it in your hand. And the great thing about this is it does not require any concentration to do so. So when you use it once per day for 1 minute, now it's not 1 minute of use. Once you started it, it'll be used for up to 1 minute, and then it's done for the day.
Cool.
And that seems to have been a gift from the sprite to you.
Mm.
So all you need to do is put it in an empty hand, and you're good to go.
Okay, sounds good.
That was very nice.
Mhm.
Very nice.
And Blur basically just grants every attack disadvantage to hit you.
That's not
That's
bad.
pretty powerful.
Mhm.
Does it still count as maintain? Because blur is a concentration spell. Do you have to concentrate on the pebble, or like?
As
No,
long
that's
as
the
they
great
have-
thing about
As
it.
long as they have the
Cool.
pebble in my hand, I don't have to concentrate. So.
As long as he's holding it in his hand,
Mhm.
of course, that then in some ways limits you because you can't have something else in your hand while you're
Right,
doing it.
yeah.
And you can't do things like you have a sword in your hand and you have this in your hand, you can't manipulate an object, right?
Mhm.
There are some
Right.
negatives to having this thing in your
Yeah.
hand.
There
And
are
if
always
it ever
trade-offs.
goes out of your hand, the spell ends.
You
Yep.
could add a third hand.
That's a Gashara, that's not a feat that you can take. I'm sorry.
Oh, dang it. You'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Mm.
All right. You emerge from your concentration on the spell, and you have the item in your hand. Now, that it will activate only once in 24 hours. So if you use it
Mhm.
and you give it to somebody else, it won't work for them either. It only works one time. So,
Mhm.
all right.
I just kind of look at it and go, I think I made a little friend.
Yes, you did. All right. What else are you going to do now that in this evening? Is there anything else you want to explore or look at? Any other items?
Yeah, sure. I'll do just a perimeter search around our little campsite, make sure it's safe, and then he'll offer to take first watch.
Perfect. Why don't you give me first a survival roll, and then I'll have you give me an investigation roll.
Alrighty. Survival is a 3,
All right.
followed by an investigation of a 2.
All right. So
Very confident in this one.
so you're pretty confident that this place is absolutely secure, and there pretty much has never been anything that's ever bad has ever happened here. This is the most serene place on earth.
Yes,
It's
he comes back and he basically just sits down and does like a cross-legged sort of what is that?
Lotus.
A lotus pose on his little mushed fern, and he says, "All right, I'm ready for first watch. This place is secure."
All right.
Okay.
Anybody
Hemo
else
just
going to
falls
stay
over
awake
and
with
goes to
Gashara?
sleep.
Anybody else going to stay awake with Gashara on first watch? And who are you waking up after first watch?
And who said second watch? Somebody said second watch.
Hemo just goes into a
Mm-hmm.
trance and says, wake me for second watch."
Oh, that's right. You said it first. You're the first person to say a watch, which was the second watch.
Perfect.
Because
All right.
Hemo wanted to stop hiking and just trance right there.
Nice. Hemo, you're woken up a few hours later
Oh,
Hi, Gashar.
by Gashar, yes.
I woke you up.
okay. Was it actually safe?
Yes, I did not die.
Very good. That's the
Anyone else?
minimum baseline success for going to sleep.
Great. Anybody else awake with that first watch, or was it just Gashar? I'm assuming just Gashar. So now it's just Hemo awake. All right, Hemo,
Okay.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk the perimeter. You're gonna sit by the fire.
I think he's gonna sit around the fire and prepare bits and bobs in his juggling kit. He carries just like, balls and pins and ribbons and stuff for his performance, and he's gonna try to set up a new flashy set that involves
Oh.
juggling a bunch of daggers and other stuff.
Clink, clink, clink,
Give me a
clink,
juggling
clink,
check. Give me a
clink, clink,
performance
clink.
check.
And a stealth check, please. I'm trying to sleep over here.
20.
Oh,
Whatever
Modded 20.
your ability to put this together, you're kind of being creative and coming up with some cool ideas, and you're doing things. You're flipping things around. Everything's working fantastic. You're able to come up with a new combination trick that you think is going to be very popular amongst the next group of people who you perform for.
Can
Sweet.
Flatter give him a couple of pointers and how to do a show with a bit of flourish?
Well, you could when you're awake, but right now you're sleeping. It's second
Yeah, right.
watch.
Mhm.
So Hemo, as you're doing this, you throw your sword up, and your eye catches movement in the distant road. Now you can't see in the dark that far, but a glint from just a bit of the moon poking through the cloudy sky has a little flicker of light of movement on the distant road. Now you're quite a bit away from it, but you can see some movement on the road.
How far is the road, do you think?
About half a mile. It's quite a bit. I mean, it's large. It's
Okay.
far away. You like I said, you just see some shimmering in the low moonlight.
I guess I'll leave the fire, leave any kind of light to try to get a better sense of what's on the road. I don't think I'm going to leave camp, but I want
Okay.
to check out the lights and see if it looks like an individual or a group on the road.
Sure. You walk out from the around the aura of light that the fire is in, and you can see that the fern growth and the fire and the tree growth here is big enough that as you move out just about 30 feet out, seeing the fire starts to become more and more difficult, and you find yourself quickly into complete moonlight and darkness. The moon is only barely breaking through the clouds in clumps, so the sky has a very, very low haze of darkness. Now, of course, with your dark vision, you can see your immediate vicinity, but you're not able to see beyond other than everyone else who doesn't have dark vision. So it's very difficult to see beyond, but you do hear faintly a noise. Give me a listen check.
Sure. Perception 12.
All right. You hear something, but you're not sure what it is. It's far away. You're just that movement on the road is since sort of gone. You can't really see because whatever it was probably on a high part of the road that had more clearing space. But whatever it is, you're not sure. But you do hear something in the distance, kind of like more like maybe a grinding or maybe some kind of a machine, maybe. But it's very, very faint and difficult to hear. You just hear some noises.
Weird. Hemo's just gonna go back to camp and keep practicing juggling, but he's gonna just juggle daggers in case he needs to throw one at something.
You got it. All right. You manage to go through the cycle of all of your rests for the evening. In the morning, you wake up. Nothing ever happened. Are you going to do anything more than have breakfast and prepare spells?
Not really.
All right.
Ready
All
to
right,
hit the road.
You do that and you begin. Anybody else doing anything before you head back to the road? All right. Cool. So your group continues on, I'm assuming in the same marching order, back to the road.
yes.
I'll assume that you make sort of a angle toward the road, moving toward the direction you're going and not just straight to the road again. But you move toward the road. It takes you, again, a half hour or so to get to the road, and you begin your journey toward where you believe Conyberry is. based on your historical knowledge and what was told to you by Sister Guriel. You reach about half the day through, and you can see something strange ahead of you up on the road. You see an overturned wagon.
Oh.
Now it's quite a distance away. It's maybe a football field length away, but you can see this overturned wagon. And the road isn't flat. There's like a rise and fall to the hills. And so you can kind of see part of the wagon up on the top of this rolling hill. And as the ground kind of dips down away from you, there may be more there. It could be an ambush. You don't know. But there's not a lot beside the road. The road has some trees scattered here and there, but it'd be very difficult for, say, like a band of goblins to be waiting in mass behind like 3 trees.
Are there tall grasses though?
There are tall grasses, that could have been more of the danger than the trees.
You'd think at some point they'd learn how to make these things not roll over so much.
Last time it was an ambush.
Yes, we must be
Jumped into
cautious.
the tall grass.
All right, Waif disappears into the tall grass. What did you get for a hide?
11.
We watch her
okay.
go with
Yeah.
our passive.
Well, yeah, most people can probably. You probably
Grass
can
is
see,
rustling.
She can see she forgets she has like horns. You can see his horns like shark fin rustling through the trees.
Dun, dun.
All right. The rest of you can move forward if you want, but you're all together about a football field's length away from this overturned cart.
Well,
Gashar will pull out his quarterstaff just to be safe.
All right.
Have that ready.
What are you going to do? You're a football field's away. Going to move forward?
Hemo, were you in
Oops,
front?
the cart.
well, Hemo is in the back of the marching order.
Finis
but-
is in front.
Finis.
Finis
sort
will
of-
just
Yeah, go
look
ahead.
at his party members and start marching forward with his shield raised.
All right, you approach, and again, you have a slight decline where you go kind of dip into a low part of the road, and then you kind of rise up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as we get maybe about half of the way,
Yep,
Gashar will start looking around a little more carefully to see if any other movement is on either side of us.
perfect.
Besides the obvious.
Give me a perception roll.
Says the obvious wave.
Besides that one. 17.
All right, you can definitely see Waif
Yeah.
in the trees as she's moving
Making
through.
keeping pace
she
with her.
kind of moving with you. The road that she's not far enough in that's difficult terrain, but she has some cover inside of that crouching down. But she is not crouched down enough that she's crawling, so she's keeping up with you just fine at that
Good.
stealth pace. So, and I'm assuming you guys aren't running forward. You're kind of just moving slowly up this hill. So you get to the bottom of this ravine and you kind of rise up, and you can see that cart has been overturned. It's overturned so that the base or the top of the wagon is to the south, and the bottom of the wagon is to the north in some ways. And you can see that the wheel is just hanging out there, and it's a breezy day still today, and the wheel is sort of just slowly kind of turning with the wind a
Are there
little bit.
any animals in the front?
Not that you can, but you're approaching it from behind and you're coming up on it. You're not seeing much. What are you gonna do? You're about, like I said, maybe 500 yards or 50 yards. I apologize, 50 yards from it. You're halfway there. Anything else you're gonna do before you approach?
Nope. Just seeing if anybody's sneaking up to either side of us right now. I'll just stick behind Finis.
All right, Finis, give me a spot roll, please.
All right.
What's your perception?
8.
All right, Finis, you see as I described the wagon, and you walk right up. You guys are now within 10 yards of the wagon. And Finis, you walk right up past 2 bodies that you fail to see. However,
I'd say with the 17, I
Yeah.
probably would have.
however, Gashar, who's actually near the
Right behind you.
near the front there, Gashar, you actually see 2 bodies of orcs on the ground.
Ooh.
Interesting. So
Also
Finis
got the
takes-
passive 15.
Yep.
as soon as Finis sort of steps to this right past him, basically he stops and kind of kneels down and starts to look through these bodies.
All right, you walk up to the.
How
You
are
walk
they
up.
damaged? And
Yeah, it's weird. There's something weird about these bodies. This body seems to have not been hit by anything. it just seems to have been somehow shocked into death. It doesn't appear, it just seems the body there's nothing, there's no marks on the body that you necessarily can see right
Yep.
away.
No blood pooling next to him or anything like that.
No. Why don't you give me
Are they crispy or anything?
no, why don't you give me a nature roll?
Nature. 7.
All right. You're looking through it and it's something looks very odd to you on this, these bodies. You're not sure what's going on, but whatever it is, it doesn't look right. Like if they were ambushed by goblins or something happened, they would be markings of some sort.
So, but just the obvious stuff. So I don't see any holes in them or blood pooling next to them, or they're not like crispy, like fire got them, or lightning. I know lightning effects, right? You can
you might have an idea of what lightning effects are.
I breathe lightning, so I've seen the results.
Yeah, I would give you advantage for lightning stuff. Yeah.
So there's no obvious like physical damage on him. He's going to look very closely and see if they're still breathing, because this could be a trap.
Absolutely, they appear to. This one for sure that you're on appears to be dead. What's anybody else going to do? Finish. You obviously walk past it, and this was kind of they're kind of pushed off into the grass.
He'll kind of notice that his party's stopped to investigate stuff, and I'll say, check them for the bugs.
Oh, good call. He'll flip them over and look in the chest.
You pull open their chest, and no, there's nothing on their chest or all like that. You don't see any of that stuff.
It is not bugs. Well,
Finish.
Not that one.
At the top there, as you kind of turn around, you can see that there are 3 more orc bodies in the front of the cart. Wait, if you're not saying anything, you're kind of in the grasses right now.
Maybe it was
come out and go to the cart.
Maybe it was the bells in their heads.
The
Orcs are huge, right? Like these guys look crazy.
They're
strong.
not huge. I mean, they're in many ways a lot like Ashar. They tend to be very big and bulky as general, but there are orcs of all various sizes. You can have
halfling orcs.
No,
Oh,
but you can have your they have orcs who are of every class, and with that, of course, going to have any shape and size. So, but generally speaking, the typical orc is probably generally a little more strong, a little more fierce than most typical humans or elves. Dwarves are, they're their own sort of fierceness. So,
Yeah,
and these here appear to be probably fighters or warriors, or at least doing enough with their hands. They don't appear to be too overweight, and they appear to be sort of strong.
Ooh, do they have weapons with them?
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a look.
Armored?
Yes. You see that they are all carrying various types of clubs.
I'm searching the cart.
All right, what are you doing? What are you laughing at?
I got a 3 for my investigation.
All right, you go ahead and search the cart. What do you get?
For perception?
Yes. All right.
Everything's muddy.
All right. You can see that it's an overturned cart. There's nothing that you seem to be in it. It's just an overturned. And you can see the body.
Can I take a check?
Now, yeah, go ahead and give me a check.
Not much better.
What did you get?
10.
All right. You now finish with your passive perception. One of the things that's odd about this, there are no animals. It looks like there should be places for animals to be here on this, but there's no animals on these 5 bodies that are strewn about here. Now, Gishar is the only one who's actually investigated one of the bodies, but where did the animals go?
It's like a hitch spot on the cart.
It's a hitch spot, but there's no animals. Yeah.
Any tracks?
You can see the tracks of the wagon and the animals leading up to the spot. It was wet in the evening, but there's nothing beyond what's happened here.
Just
I need you to give me a survival roll.
Me?
Ram, yes.
5.
All right. I can see that this is going to be one of those nights where you're going to be walking in the dark, literally. All right, finish. What are you gonna do with this knowledge?
I mean,
let's look at the other ones.
Utility spells. Yeah, Finis will start to like peel shirts back on these guys and just check for bugs.
Sure. You don't seem to be anything in bugs, but I'm going to give you in fact, your passive observation is good enough. Finis, this orc that you look at as you pull his things, he's died of the cold. He was frostbitten to death.
That's weird.
Can I tell if it was exposure or maybe of magic?
You think
of
that
magical.
if this happened suddenly and quickly, which leads you to believe that's most likely some type of effect. Now, there's not a lot of natural effects that do this, so you're mostly assuming that it's magic. Now, you can give me an Arcana roll if you'd like.
Sure. Natural 20.
Sweet.
Ooh,
Oh,
you
that's
rolled over a 12. It's amazing.
all right. You know that this was probably brought about by some arcane or some magical energy that created a cold-like effect, like of spells such as like some spells like frost finger, like a finger of frost that can shoot out and
Ray of Frost. Stuff,
whatever
sure.
this was many times more powerful than that.
Or perhaps, dragon's breath.
Hmm.
Hemo looks up,
Check
scans
check the ground
sky.
around. See if there's any sign of frost damage there.
Yeah, he'll check the cart that's overturned and see if there's any like cold damage or anything like that. Like
You do
or
see
if there's any sign of
you do see sometimes parts where the wood itself on the cart itself, part of the cart has been probably broken or became brittle because it's been crystallized.
okay.
Ooh. Like the impact on the ground was shattering wood rather than like
Right. Part
cracking
of
or something.
part of the wood got shattered. Now it's set.
Wow.
It doesn't appear cold or anything now, but it just appears like it was kind of shattered or broken apart. And this wagon was overturned. Again, there should be probably at least one, but you look maybe probably two animals should be attached to this cart, but again, there doesn't seem to be any animals here.
I
Maybe they were
believe
eaten.
That is one possibility. They could have also been taken by something large enough to pick them up, maybe into the air.
If there's
We're not
something
about to
big
get
enough
eaten, are
in
we?
the area to pick up two horses or however many, what does it look like, a single or a double or?
You're thinking it could only be
Hitch?
one. There's it's a T hitch, but sometimes they don't necessarily have to have two animals there.
So one or two.
To carry off one or two horses, we are not going to look for this.
Can
We can look
finish?
for it.
Well,
do
finish
this.
is. Let me see.
Or
he's
in the
not
ground.
trained in
Remember that one
history.
that climbed out of the ground at me? There was an ant had.
Does anybody know maybe
Yeah.
creatures that may have been seen in the area?
You can give me
Dragons
some.
come to mind. White
You can give me some
dragons.
nature rolls. See if anything that you've known about in the area that might do this.
I mean, Hemo grew up
I
in
got
the
a
woods.
2.
Well, they're
I
doing that. I'm
got
gonna
a 13 nature.
walk around the grass and look for large footprints.
Sure, give me a roll. Hemo and Finis, neither of you have any recollection of things that would normally exist in this area, so you're not really sure what's going on. Someone looks expired.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. Bishar, you're walking around this area, and what you see is that you find that the something that whatever was attached to this cart, whatever animal was attached to this cart, the bindings for the animal was ripped asunder, torn apart, literally just snapped out. And you see splatterings of blood on the ground, but they're very quick and fast. They're just like a few spatters here and there, like something probably pierced something quickly and probably did a little just enough damage to kill it. But you don't see sprays of blood everywhere. But
So
the other thing,
video
the
punch.
other thing you find with your natural 20 is that you can see a footprint, and the footprint that you see is of 3 kind of claws and a back claw.
Does it look somewhat familiar?
Does it
From
look
my
like
own
does it look like your hand?
Well, you think of course, that you don't have you don't travel on
Sure.
fours or anything like that. But
But
it
I've been
could be
around like
right.
as a kid. I remember like people. So basically, and somebody mentioned dragon, and so he's
Yeah.
thinking back about like
You
this. He thinks of his own prints, and he's seen dragon like impressions in the past.
looking at it, you think it's very possible that it could be something like that.
Oh no.
He started standing with us and musing about it for like probably a solid minute until he kind of snaps out of it. He looks back and says, "It might be a dragon. Look," and he points at the footprint.
I believe somebody said that.
Yeah, he says that to you. Look,
Yes, there's a rumor of a white dragon in the area.
Hemo is like scanning the skies with a longbow, like at the ready. This is very scary news.
that won't help very much.
It's better than nothing.
Well, it looks like if it is a dragon, it has eaten well recently, so I don't feel like we're in much danger immediately.
Also,
It's good
note
to
to
know.
not eat the humanoids.
All right. These orcs have on them, one of them has a satchel or a bag on its hip. And you see that the bag itself was ripped apart. But you do find underneath the creature 2 gold pieces. But the bag that had a satchel, the bag was ripped apart off of it.
Mm.
And you see 2 gold pieces. Probably when it was ripped down, fell out and were on the ground.
Dragons love their treasure.
Well, I'm gonna take those.
All right, you snatch up the 2 gold. All right, you see these 5 bodies on the ground with this overturned cart. Are you going to do anything more with them?
If we've looked for any useful supplies,
All right. Other than them having some clubs, they all have clubs, and they have leather armor. If you would like to take leather armor from any of them, they have that. Other than that, they don't really have much else. That's pretty much
nothing
what
in
you
the
find.
cart. There's no supplies. There was an empty cart.
The cart appears empty. Of course, you searched it. You didn't find anything.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, leave them.
All right.
We are forewarned.
And
All right.
yes, keep an eye on the skies.
And Flanders starts writing stuff down.
Perfect. All right. You continue traveling north by northeast up the Triboar Trail. And as you do so, you can see in the distance a small town coming into view. I'll put it on the map.
As we're walking along this last stretch right here, Gashar was standing right at that foot in the footprint that he found. So he knows what the size was of it.
Yeah.
He's trying to think back through his training and all the books he's read and sizes and stuff, and to get an idea for how large the dragon might be. Like, is it a baby versus like a full grown adult? Like, you feel like he's trying
Give me
to
a nature roll.
get an idea for that. I am wondering if he can use his history because of the books that he's read for that.
Well, I'll give it. Yeah, sure. I'll give you a history roll.
Okay. Thank you. I got a 16 for that.
All right. You know that this creature is at least a bigger than medium size. Now, what that means to you, it's probably, it could be large, it could be bigger. You're not really sure because you're not really sure how big the feet come into relative proportion to the body. Now, you've read some things, but you're just kind of guessing.
Yeah.
So right now, you're like what's bigger than medium size? It's probably large or bigger.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
bigger than a bread box.
Okay. Thank you.
Much bigger.
All right. You can see ahead of you, this Conyberry is coming into view. Are you going to approach the Conyberry? Are you going to skirt it? You're going to what is your plan?
Is there any visible sense of life from it? Like
Yeah,
smoke coming
this-
from any buildings or?
This
Give
is
me-
supposed to be a ghost town.
Give me a perception roll.
Who's in front? Finnis?
Mm.
I certainly can. I got a 13.
13?
Yes.
All right, what you can see is that Conyberry itself resides around next to a small like lake. It's not really such a big lake that you'd like create a big boat, but you could take some like a small rowboat out on it. And it's there's what's remaining is it's kind of in a tree patch, so you're kind of it drifts down, and you can see that there are some trees around it. It's kind of in the southern part of the forest. And you can see from your angle maybe 10, 12 remaining buildings that are around that area. But strangely enough, yes, 2 of them do have fires coming from the chimneys. And the last thing you knew was that that this was an abandoned place.
He'll point it out. Smoke.
Yes, there is smoke.
Oh,
We
what
should
is it?
inquire.
We have fire.
and see if they've heard anything.
Could
All right, are
be,
you gonna approach Conyberry?
There's always a chance it's one of the former red brands we sent scurrying.
Should we put on our robes?
Finis never took his off.
He lives in that thing. He's now a new red brand. He's going to create a whole new society.
If I catch you stealing or
Rebranding.
embezzling,
It's a little bright on you.
Yeah, it has that stale
Hey,
kind
when I
of.
wear this thing, skeletons don't attack me.
It's just a magic cloak.
His observations are sound. All right.
sometimes like,
Yeah. So you're gonna wander into Conyberry.
yeah.
We shall approach carefully.
Yeah.
The closest of the smoking houses.
All right. As you come into Conyberry, the dirt roads and the wet roads slowly give way to a cobblestone type path, and it goes out about you can see you're about maybe a quarter mile out from the main part of the town, and you're kind of coming down into the town. This is kind of into a little bit of a ravine area as you enter, and you can see those buildings overhead, but quickly they kind of hide as the tree line meets you as you lower into the ground to that area, and you can see a cobblestone path ahead of you. But just then, at the very end, as you near this, and as you near the entrance of this building, you can see a series of small wooden buildings, one of which has a goblin sitting on a porch. And I'll bring the map up now.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
that is a cool map.
put you guys here. Why don't you guys put yourself on a map about right here?
Top left. Top left.
Yeah,
Okay.
do you see it on the map?
Yep.
Okay. So put yourself right about there, and you can see as you enter the town, this town of Conyberry, that that there is a goblin sitting there in the town.
Is the goblin holding any weapons?
Is he rocking in a chair?
Is
No.
he rocking in a chair holding a weapon?
Yeah, he seems to have a short bow in his hand, and he appears to be sort of half drifting off as he's sitting down. Letting me see if he notices you. And he seems to be just sitting there in his chair, and he at first you think he's just staring at you, but it soon comes to pass that it's probably sleeping. What are you going to do as you approach, as you can see this thing snoozing up there on the porch?
Finis will walk up slowly and quietly.
Give
He'll
me
go
a
all
stealth
the way
roll,
up to
please.
him.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Goblin.
That's a 3.
All right, I'm gonna have you. I want to put you right here.
Okay.
I was gonna say, as he's moving there, I'm moving here.
So, so I have. Where are you gonna move to? Hold on a
It's
second.
going to move to the trees there, the brush on the corner there,
Okay, that's fine. All right, so you move up to the brush.
and I will try and hide again.
Sure. What is your hide?
I will go up with Finis.
That's better.
20.
Awesome. All right. As the group approaches, Finis stealthily walking in his heavy armor and shield. His weapon kind of like rattling on his hip, kind of hits the hard ground of his hard-heeled walking boots clapping on the cobblestone floor, but all stealthily.
Doing this.
As you do so, you see this goblin lifts up and he looks over at you and he says, "Oh, hey!" And he kind of pulls an arrow out and he says, "You gonna pay the toll?
What toll?
We're going to go to Conyberry. How many are you? Let's see. There's 4 of you, huh? That'll be 8 gold. Pay you 8 gold and you can just go right on through."
Whose authority do you have, small one?
Whose authority? You seem to ask a lot of questions for someone who just seems to be standing there.
Hemo's still got his bow. I think he means this one.
You're gonna hold up your bow?
No, just the authority of he's got a bow
I gotcha.
and he might shoot you.
He says, "Apparently you don't know who Redgar is, huh?"
No.
Well, you're right about that.
We haven't had the pleasure. Who
Well,
is
you're,
this Redgar?
you're gonna find out if you just don't want to pay your gold, or you can just turn around and head back down the Triboar Trail. That's what you can do.
That's okay. The white dragon can eat you all, and Finis will turn around.
Oh, a slain
He
white
looks at
dragon
you
can't eat
oddly and
anyone.
he says, "You're an odd one." And he sits back down in his chair. He kind of sits back down, has this look of pride, like I just told those guys off. They don't want to walk on the Triboar Trail, then they don't let them. What are you guys gonna do?
If we stop and turn around, do you pay us 2 gold pieces each?
Hemo says nothing. Let's see where this goes.
This
I think we would
goblin
like
looks at this dragonborn. He kind of cocks his head and he says, "Just keep walking. You don't want to pay up. You don't want to pay the toll. Then Conyberry's not for you."
Okay. He'll start walking the same direction he was going.
All right, stop right there, because when you get to here,
All right.
he literally picks up his bow. He draws his bow on you. He says, "Hey, I'll shoot you right in the chest, and you're gonna ask somebody for help, but they're not gonna help you because you're gonna be dead."
Wait, you just told me to.
Can I be moving during this time?
Hemo
Well, you could be in a
takes
second
his-
one.
Can Hemo take his coin pouch out and approach the goblin? Like, wait, I'll pay the toll. I'll pay the toll. Don't shoot him. He definitely can't catch that arrow and throw it back at you.
Oh, so you're
He's got
smart
his
enough,
hands
huh?
up in a pouch.
I didn't
in
think
his
elves are
hands.
so smart. You guys seem to be thinking that all you can do is just stand in the woods and hide on everybody.
But he told me to keep walking.
No, we need to pay the toll.
All right.
Wait a minute. Why do we need to pay the
smarten
toll?
up.
Can I?
You
Can
can
I
walk
get
up to him. Yeah,
Okay.
he walks up to you and he says, he holds his hand out. "All right, that'll be 8 gold. You're lucky I'm not charging you more, since
Are
you're
there
just being
any-
difficult."
Are there any windows in this house? Like, is there anybody inside who might be able to see us out here?
Not that you're aware of. It doesn't look like anybody can necessarily see you right now.
Okay,
Give me a spot
sweet.
roll. Give me a perception roll.
16?
You do see in the distance here, in far to the south, and I'll show people on the map, that there is actually a hobgoblin in the middle of the road.
Oh, wow. Right in the middle of town.
Yeah. Wait, you're able to do some movement. What would you like to do?
I'm staying stealthy and I want to move like 30 feet. Well, I'd like to move to here. Do you see my arrow?
Okay. All right. You want to move down to
Basically to that corner.
Okay. Go ahead and you can move.
Does that take a dash action, or does Waif?
So he's
just
going to move
that
over the
fast?
course of two actions, right?
Okay.
Yep. I'm just as you guys are talking, she's moving up.
All right. All right, and you have a pretty good stealth. You're kind of slinking up. You don't see that goblin seems to be paying much attention to you. I think that goblin is very interested in the fact that Hemo is about to give him a bunch of money. Hemo, how much money do
Okay.
you?
I deck him in the face with the coin pouch.
Well, let's roll initiative and see what happens. Everybody roll initiative.
I got a 12 on my unarmed or improvised strike or whatever. I've got 15 gold and I've got 2 gold, 2 silver, and 15 copper. I'm not sure that's going
Perfect.
to be heavy enough to call
All
it
right.
blackjack, but
Wait, what'd you get?
Why does it always go off that stupid screen? 15.
All right, Graham. All right, I'm sorry, Gashar, what'd you get?
13.
Flander.
22.
All right. Hemo.
6.
All right. And who am I missing here? Finis.
Hemo just straight up gets
12.
Oh.
a boxer's fracture.
All right. Flander, you see Hemo walks up and he suddenly pulls back to like he decides, that's it. I'm going to smack him. But you get to react first if you so choose to. Flander, you are about 25 feet from that goblin.
Hemo was just complaining about how he didn't have any gold.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Waif was in the
has-
back going, what the hell is he talking about? How's he got gold?
What are you doing, Flander?
Okay. So he hasn't struck him yet.
Well, you can see he it's kind of like he's grabbing he's reaching back to swing, but he hasn't done anything yet because you get to react to him.
He is telegraphing
Okay.
his move like never before.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to shout out now. We've warned you, you mealy-mouthed little weasel, and I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Ooh, my save is 13, right?
Yes.
All right. Ooh, you yell at him, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on it. Yeah, you belled out some words to it, and it doesn't seem to hurt him. However, Waif, it is your turn.
I am going to delay.
All right, and so you're
I
gonna
will delay till after Hemo.
All right, so I'm gonna put you at 7. All right, that brings
5.
us.
After.
Oh, it's 5.
Sorry.
Thank you. 5. Thank you for telling me.
Mhm.
All right, that brings us to the goblin. All right, Hemo, you go to reach back at him. It gets a bonus action to dash, which is going to do.
To dash?
I'm sorry, to disengage. Sorry, it's
Darn
a
it.
bonus action to disengage.
Mhm.
Disengages to here, and he's going to shoot at you with his bow. It's going to hit an armor class of 14.
That misses.
All right, and then it's going to run like heck.
What's the matter? I thought you wanted your toll.
He runs back and he says he's like Redgar, we got a bunch of intruders in our town. And you see this hobgoblin creature that's sitting right down below here. He's kind of looking up at what's going on, and he himself is going to draw his weapon. All right, what are you guys going to do? Next up after them is Gashar. It is your turn.
He'll walk up to the corner here as this goblin's running away. He says, No, wait. We just wanted to come here and help with the ghosts. You should not fight.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, so he'll do basically trying to be diplomatic over there.
All right, give me a diplomacy roll, but you're going to have it on disadvantage now since you already tried to strike him.
Yeah, you already tried to hit him. I can do disadvantage here. Let's see. That would be persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion, yeah.
And she's doing it at -1. Excellent.
And you have a disadvantage.
Which I did the disadvantage and I got a 10.
All right. You call after the thing, but it doesn't seem to have much effect. All right. That brings us to Finis.
Finis will walk up behind Gashar here,
I'm just gonna walk my normal 40. I think was about there.
and he'll just ask, so
He was a
are
little
we
further.
still trying to defuse this situation?
All right.
Hemo's like, Hemo's like, well, I
need to
thought
respond.
maybe I could just deck him and get him to back down. Slippery little bugger.
Worked like a charm, didn't it?
Well, it's gonna just get up to him again.
Okay, so Finis will shrug, and then he'll just shoot a chill touch straight at the goblin.
All right. You just say, screw that. I'm going to chill touch that thing. It's clearly within range. So go ahead and give me a attack roll, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. 10 to hit.
Armor class 10 does not hit.
Is that one of those ghostly hands that
Yeah,
goes flying by?
the hand flies out. Those
See-
don't seem to hit very good.
Sharp
It's-
pauses for a second and says, see? Look, ghostly hands.
All right. That brings us to Hemo. You finally swing your. All this stuff is happening. No, clearly you have you can make an action. What would you like to do? Or whatever.
Heck, he's gonna drop his longbow, and he's gonna draw one of his scimitars and he can't quite make it to that goblin. In that case, he's not going to drop his longbow. He's going to just step out, fire a shot at the goblin.
All right, give me a shot at that goblin.
17 to hit.
Ooh.
That will definitely hit that goblin.
5 points of piercing damage. And he's going to take his multi-attack and fire another arrow. 23 to hit.
Ooh.
6 points of piercing damage.
What do you get multi-attack for?
Oh, not yet. No, that was my bonus action attack.
But that's
No,
a
he
bonus
doesn't
action
get
for
that.
2-weapon fighting, which
Yeah,
you're
no,
not
he doesn't
using.
get that. No, he just gets the one shot then.
Perfect.
5 piercing.
You hit
He
it,
gets
and you see the
multi-attack.
it kind of stumbles forward as your arrow flies through the air, smacking it right kind of in the hip. It kind of spins a little bit. You can see it's struggling. Blood kind of leaving a bit of a trail behind him as it runs behind him. And that hobgoblin that you see here, it just goes. It just begins yelling, crying out in anger. Now the hobgoblins are much bigger. They have a hairier type of body. They're wearing heavy armor like a chainmail, and they have with them shields that they carry. This creature also has with him a long sword, and he looks like he had already previously drawn his long sword, so he has it in his hand. All right, that was Hemo. That brings us to Waif.
Describe to me this building that I'm standing in front of.
Sure. The building that you're looking at is a wooden structure. It looks to be at one time a probably some type of a home. You're thinking. You're not really sure. You can see
How
that
many
there
stories?
are. What's that?
How many stories?
It is one story. Everything in here is one story.
Okay.
All places are one story. Thanks for clarifying.
That's okay.
You can see that there is a window here and a window here and a window here.
How tough would it be to climb this wall? Is it overgrown? Is it rough?
It is not. You would think it's pretty simple. You maybe think you need maybe a 10 to climb up on it.
Athletics is not my thing, but I will try. I will try to climb up the roof.
You got it. Go ahead.
Oops.
No.
All right. You kind of climb up that branches and things
She's
like
just
that.
not strong enough.
And unfortunately, you just can't get any footholds, and you're not able to just pull yourself up. You just don't have the lower back strength to pull yourself up. You're just like, and you struggle. So you try that. You can still do a move action if you
All right.
like.
Well, I will move to there.
All right, you run around that corner,
Yeah.
and you're kind of in the. Clearly, you're in that brush and trees right now.
Mhm.
But yeah. Okay, that's
Am
what
I
Wade.
still stealthed? I haven't done anything to.
I know that
break
you haven't
that?
done anything specifically to try to break it, and nobody's seen you try to climb, so there's no reason to reroll.
Okay.
But it was Wave. All right, that hobgoblin's gonna go at the end of the round. All right, that hobgoblin yells out. Does anybody speak the language of the hobgoblin, which is, I believe, goblin? Does anybody speak goblin? Still don't think anybody does, right? It barks out this short, choppy language and cries out, and it looks to the northeast as it does so. It yells back to the northeast, and then it's going to run forward. Going to run to there. And then it runs. I'm sorry, I didn't want it to do that. It's going to run. Yeah, it's going to run to there. And when it does so, it will actually stand in front of this creature like that. And it's going to do something else. So it runs its 30 feet and then does something else. Yeah. You see, he takes a shield, he kind of crouches down behind a shield and has his weapon up like, I'm going to take you on now. You want to take me on? Let's do it.
Take on me.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
All right.
Dream.
All right. Well, so that was them. That round is refreshing. Flander, what are you going to do?
Okay. I have a lock of hair on me. Just try this for fun. I pull out the lock of hair and I show it to this Rathgar guy. And I say, this is all that's left of the last hobgoblin that tried to mess with us. Stand down now. And I'll try and intimidate him.
All right. You're very, very far away from it right now. So you're gonna get disadvantaged by calling it so far away. Do you want to move forward and do that?
I'll move forward and do that, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself 30 feet and then give me an
Okay.
intimidation roll.
Okay, so 30 feet is right about here, I think. And give you an intimidation roll. Oh, 12.
All right, you do that. You're not sure what happened, but that's what you do. All right, that brings us to that goblin. All right, that goblin is going to run.
Run so far away.
Yeah, it runs. I will move the map over. You can see 30. It's just going to start running. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to run to here. And I'll show you on the map where that is. I'll kind of slide the map over so people can see in general what I'm talking about. We all slide over. Boom. All right. That was the goblin. That brings us to Gashar. Gashar, what are you going to do?
So the hobgoblin came running towards us and barked out some orders, but he's got his sword drawn, huh?
He's got a long sword and he's using a shield. He's kind of tucked behind a shield. He's crouched a little bit. He has a sword up.
Well, I was thinking defensively. I think I go on the offense though, since he's sort of inviting me in there with his shield. So what the heck? I can get to him, no problem. So I'll step up to him and I will attack him using my quarterstaff. Basically just come up and just yeah, I guess I'd do two-handed. Just try to stab him with the quarterstaff. Right over his shield, hopefully.
Perfect.
I got a 19.
That's awesome. We know what the problem that you're facing is that he is actually just in a defensive position using the dodge action.
Oh,
so you have disadvantage on your roll.
Second roll there.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it lands. And 11 for the second one.
All right. So you're trying to take your quarterstaff and strike over the top of that, but this hobgoblin lifts his shield and steps forward underneath it and kind of meets your attack with its shield and kind of grazes it. It kind of does that as an angle, and your weapon just slides right off the side of it.
Excellent. Well, I'll still take my unarmed strike and try to kick him at the same time. Maybe I can get him. Nope, 11 again for that one.
All right, yeah, and then you try to kind of jump up behind him and kind of surprise him with a kick, and he kind of stands to the side, and that weapon up there, he has a sword. He uses he kind of steps this way, and he uses his inside of his forearm to kind of smack your kick out of the way. All right, that was this thing seems to be a lot more tough than what you consider a goblin to be, right? Like, oh my goodness. All right, that was Gashar. That brings us to Finis, what are you gonna do, Finis?
Finis will continue to walk forward.
All right, what are you gonna? You can take your move action, and what else are you gonna do?
Move up
Anything else?
here. And he's going to just where is it? Oh, that's touch. Okay, I don't want to do that one. All right, he'll just do a toll the dead on him, so he's got to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right,
13.
wisdom saving throw. All right. I believe I failed. I will quickly double check. I did fail. What happens?
He takes 7 points of necrotic damage.
Oh no, that's okay. You hit him with 7 points of necrotic damage. He just struggles, as you can see part of his body just kind of flaking away. It just seems to have hurt him quite a bit. All right, that was Finis. That brings us to Hemo.
Well, I can get up to engage the hobgoblin.
All right, you can reach the hobgoblin without any trouble. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right. I'm gonna. Yeah, this time I'll stow my longbow and draw my +1 longsword. And that's 21 to hit for 5
That
points
will
of
hit.
slashing.
And how much damage do you do to this thing?
You'll probably
5
still have
points
to roll a
slashing.
disadvantage though.
Yeah, you have disadvantage right now, so make your second attack.
Still dodging.
Dodges for the whole round.
He dodges until the start of his next turn.
I rolled a
Sure.
23 on the other one. so
Awesome. How much damage do you do to this thing?
just 5.
All right, you strike into it, and even though it's got heavy armor on, you're able to circumvent that armor and thrust your sword right to the side of this neck right here. It just folds down and slumps down to the ground. It's heavy shield and armored body just falling to the ground. That was Hemo. Waif, what I want you to notice is behind you there is a trail that leads off. Most likely to the north.
Towards that graveyard looking thing.
Yeah. So you can see that, and there's probably you were told before that there's a trail going north. You think that maybe that might be the trail that Gariel was talking about.
That's good. Because I had no idea where to go until I got here.
Yep.
But
Yep.
my turn.
Yeah, it is your turn. What are you gonna do? All right, you're
As
sliding
far as I
back.
can move.
Yep, no problem.
Stealthing.
Perfect. Okay. You move. That brings us to the hobgoblin, who unfortunately is down. It is now Flanders' turn. Now you can see that goblin is raced off
Yeah.
and is yelling.
Okay. And I rolled a 12 on my intimidation, and I presume that has no effect on the hobgoblin.
Nope. That now that the hobgoblin is dead, it
well, then I
decided
guess
that
it
it's not
doesn't matter.
going to. Yeah.
I really intimidated
It
the hell
might be
out of it.
intimidated. Its
Hemo-
afterlife.
Hemo turns to Flander and goes, "He was definitely really scared."
Okay, so I will okay, I can so our little goblin friend is where's a little goblin friend gotten to here?
He is right here.
Running for his life. That
Oh,
way.
right here, running for his life.
Yep. And he is
Okay.
crying out.
The
running
one
towards it.
screaming, waving his hands in the air.
Like he just
Okay, then
doesn't.
I will cast Bardic Inspiration on Finis.
All
Say,
right.
go get him.
Hey.
All right.
Finger guns
Cool.
you.
All right. That was Flander. That brings us to the goblin. He darts into a broken down door area. He runs in. And you can hear him yelling inside this building.
Can I hear him yelling inside the
Yeah,
building?
you can all hear him yelling. No problem. I mean, he's being very loud.
Okay.
That brings us to that is the goblin running for its dear life, bringing us to Gashar. Gashar, what are you going to do?
He will run right after him and dash to the door here, which I believe is 70 movement.
All right.
So it has 10 left, but what does he see inside there?
All right. Looking inside the door, you can see that this goblin is in the door along with, I'll kind of reveal that
I can
area.
even take another 5 if it helps him expose the rest of the room. He's running after him, yelling, "Wait, come back."
All right. And then I'll show you something else here.
Now, is he like, I can see him in there, but is he like poised to shoot at me with a bow, or is he kind of like still running away
Oh, I see.
in there?
No, he's running, but you're going to see something else.
Okay.
As this goblin is running in, you can see that there are 3 hobgoblins in this room, and there's goblins running in, and they're standing up, and they kind of have the same heavy weapons. You see them kind of turning around, like, what is going on? They've clearly heard them yelling, and they're kind of ready. They're not like lounging. They've heard them yelling up from the last round. So that's what you see. That was your full move.
So
Are you going to move the additional 10 feet?
Do they have? I did move 5 feet more to get to the doorway itself, but
Okay.
do they have ranged weapons or they have melee weapons?
No, they're carrying long swords.
Long swords.
Yeah.
Okay. No, he'll stop right there then.
Okay, that is Finis.
Goodness.
I'm going to scroll the map.
He will
over.
look back at you all and he'll say, "There are more."
Finis can get over here by using his action as movement. 5, 10. Wait. Where's 60? I'll go right to that square. I believe we can get there. This one.
All right, you move to there.
And then I use my action to double move, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to cast.
Oh,
What are you going to cast?
Spiritual weapon.
nice.
All right, I will give you a spiritual weapon to control. Okay,
Fantastic.
so now you've cast that spell.
So it appears right behind that hobgoblin and makes a swing on him on this one.
You see this, Gashar, you can see
Spectral
this scythe just appear out of nowhere.
See, ghost. Look out, ghost.
And a 9 to hit. Pretty far for the course.
Armor class 9 does not hit this thing, even though you probably surprised the heck out of it.
Except for Gashar telling him that it was going to be there. Sorry about that. Sorry, didn't realize.
All right, Finis. That brings us to Hemo. Hemo, what are you going to do?
Is this a window?
It was what a window.
Um,
These are windows here with
okay.
and this would be a door if you can see the marker right here. Like that's a door.
Is this a little wall? Describe this
Oh well,
wall.
heck, Chemo's gonna go up and
It's a short fence about 4 feet tall that's easily climbable. It would be considered difficult terrain for 1 square.
Chemo's gonna take let's see, 15 feet of movement and check in this door if it opens.
You're able to push it open fairly easy. It doesn't look like it was locked. There's a handle and you push it open, and I'll reveal that area to you.
I'm suddenly picturing this house will be full of the goblins. The second one's the hobgoblins, and the third one will be the bugbears.
This house appears to have nothing in it but this sort of disheveled furniture that you can see.
Just a ruin.
Right.
Huh.
Anything else you're going to do, Hemo?
I guess he's gonna keep moving towards the window on the other building here.
Sure.
Can I hop this?
Yep, it's considered
fence?
difficult terrain. It's just considered difficult terrain.
Okay. So I spent 15 feet, and it would be 15 feet to get over the fence instead of 10, because that's an extra 5 feet crossing it, right?
Yep. It just slows you down a little bit.
All right, so I guess I'll need a full dash action, but then he can take cover by the window.
All right, you get up by the window. Awesome. Hemo does that. Wait, it is your turn. What are you gonna do?
I move.
All right, you move through the brush and get a little closer. Sweet.
I'm assuming the brush is difficult terrain as well.
Yeah, all that green brush is going to be considered difficult terrain to move through. Correct. All right, that brings us to them. All right, this creature moves to here and waits. This creature moves to here and waits. This creature moves to here, and he is going to. I believe he's going to wait as well. Let me double check. That's clustered like that.
Did they answer my question about if they had seen any ghosts?
No. This one's going to move. Actually, this one's going to move. Not going to move to there. He's going to move to here, and he's going to wait. And you see them yelling at it. They're yelling out in this goblinoid tongue,
barking at each other.
Yeah, that brings us to Flander.
Lander is going to double move down to here.
Perfect. All right, you run forward. That brings us to the goblin. Right. The goblin is going to book ass in through this room. Now, I don't believe your weapon gets an attack of opportunity, does it?
No.
Yeah, so he doesn't need to disengage. It's going to go around to, I'm just going to count my squares out, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It disappears into the darkness. All right. That brings
He
us.
sure talked a big game at the beginning, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That brings us to Gashar. Gashar, what are you going to do?
They don't seem to be answering me, do they?
They seem to be barking at each other, and they're yelling at each other in this goblin tongue. Now you've heard the goblins speak them back in the Craigmaw caves, so the language sounds very familiar to you. But that other goblin seemed to speak common, which is probably why he was out there yelling at the road.
Yeah, these guys have a pretty good thing going on here. I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Perfect.
So he gets sort of into a stance, and then he'll actually step up to this point here, taking a step into that spot. You said they waited.
Yeah, they're standing there. They're not doing anything.
He doesn't attack instantly.
Yeah, nope. They're not attacking. They appear to be defending as well. They're probably dodging as well.
Yeah, so he's got this dodge action. He says,
Dodge on dodge attacks.
It's gonna be
So
great.
this adventure is probably going to take till like next Tuesday. They're just going to fully defend.
He looks around the room now in there.
It's like when the two fighters are like just walking in a circle.
Yeah.
You ever had a high school fight where you push each other, and then you like walk around while everyone else is egging you on, and you never actually fight each other because you don't really want to, but everyone else is egging you on. All right, that is Gashar. That brings us to Hemo. No, Finis. Finis is 12. Sorry, I didn't mean to rain on your parade there, dude.
No
What do you got?
Finis is going to
It's his job to rain on theirs.
get right up behind Gashar,
All right.
cast Toll the Dead on these two hobgoblins together.
Toll the Dead. All right. They're asking you for a toll, and you're going to toll them with the dead. Oh, they both fail.
And
How much damage you do?
I'm attempting to get it to roll, but roll 20 is not cooperating. Let me reload it.
I see two of them. Is it the same roll per?
Just make one roll for both of them since they're.
Yeah, your
That's fine.
first. There's a
Oh, they
DC
didn't show up
13,
on
right?
mine. Weird.
No, he's just doing damage.
Yeah, I think that's the right one. Oh, it says Toll the Dead on it. So the first roll was a 3. 1d8 damage, right?
1d8, yeah, unless they've already taken damage, which I don't think those guys have.
They have not taken damage yet, but you did 3, right?
Yep, 3 necrotic, and then bonus action to move my little guy this way, please. move the guy.
What's that?
I'm
What's
just gonna
that
move
thing
it
gonna
right
do?
here and swing.
At which one?
This one.
All right, give me attacks with disadvantage, please.
Can I just do disadvantage on that? Make it work. 7.
All right, you swing, but these things are heavily armored, and they're just like waiting for stuff to attack them. They're just dodging out of the way. All right, that is finished. That brings us to Hemo.
Okay. Can Hemo get through this window somehow? Like, is it openable or?
Well, you can probably slide the window open. If you want to do it with stealth, you can roll for stealth.
No, he actually doesn't want to be stealthy.
All right, you're able to push that window open. It is not much of a resistance. It's just an outside window. Just maybe it's a
Okay.
little with age, it's kind of like swelled a little bit, but you're able to push it open easily enough. All
Are there
right.
glass in these windows?
Yeah, there is glass in these windows, but they're just old and they're full of grime and grit. So it's very, very difficult to see anything through them. But you're able to push open the window. It doesn't, it's not locked. It just had a little difficult to push open. But yeah. Okay, that's what you do. It's almost like opening a door, but that's what you can
More of
do.
an action.
He hops through the window and goes to stand in the center of the room.
All right, you do that. Boom.
He calls out to the hobgoblins. He
They
says,
they look back at you. They see you, and they're kind of crouched down. What are you gonna do? I don't know if you haven't quite moved that far, right?
Not far at all.
All right. Is there anything else you
like
want to do?
15 feet. Hell, I'll just walk up and swing at this hobgoblin. I'll draw
Go
my
for it.
second scimitar. This one's marked. Is he noticeably different from the other two?
From your perspective, no. He
All
doesn't
right.
seem like he's not carrying like a banner that has anything special or anything. He just looks. I mean, all these, though the icons are the same, they're slightly variations of each
Yeah.
other. They don't. He doesn't appear to have a special crown or he doesn't have any magical effect on that you can see. But he's marked for the DM purposes.
Well, I'm gonna swing on him because he's the closest one to the other door.
Go for it.
That's a 15 to hit.
Armor
And
class 15 doesn't even come close. It kind of smatters against his armor. Just
Wow.
you run forward, but it's too difficult to hit him. What are you going to
bonus
do?
action attack.
Go for it.
23 to hit.
All right, but unfortunately, you have to make it a disadvantage.
That's a 9 to hit.
No, they're kind of ready. They're just kind of sitting there waiting for things to happen. They're just like crouched down and waiting. All right, that was Hemo. That brings us to Waif. Waif, what are you going to do?
Probably saw Hemo climb in right in front of you, huh?
Yeah, you probably could see him from your
Hemo
bed.
announced himself. He wanted to let them know that they are flanked now.
If I cast Prestidigitation, would that just end my stealth?
Depends on what you want to do with it. What is your prestidigitation you're trying to do?
Clean the window, that's right, Jay?
Only if somebody only if something could see the window being cleaned. You know what I mean? Like if nobody can observe you, so trees falls in the woods has not been. So your stealth because you would alert if you alert somebody to start looking at you, you'd have a chance to see you. So
But
whether
you're
you have
right
to
back in a
re-roll,
second.
probably not, but maybe somebody might want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like you could alert them to their presence, but your stealth effect won't end. Only if you attack something.
Okay, so all right. Well, I'm going to clean this window.
Yeah, you kind of
Just
use
like this. Actually, not even just a little thing so I can see through.
Yeah, you see part of it just goes just it's kind of like the dirt retreats from the circle. Yeah, you can do that. All right, cool. Anything else you're gonna do?
Can I move up to the window and take a look?
You certainly can.
So I'll move to like right there.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it. All right, let me reveal that to you. All right, there you go. You look into the room, look into the window, and that's what you see. All right, give me a perception roll.
Nine.
All right, that's what you see. All right, that is It is now their turn. This one here, if I can get my marker here, this hobgoblin here yells out a bunch of barking terms. And when that happens, this is what you see happens. This one steps forward. This one runs out of here. Gishar, you can take your attack of opportunity on it.
16.
16 misses. Hit its heavy armor. These things have shields, heavy armor. And they begin to attack at Hemo. They are using their long swords. Each are going to make one attack on you, sir. Armor class 16, armor class 18, and very badly, and armor class 12. All right. Hemo, armor class 16, 18, and 12.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
16, 18, and 12. That is 2 hits.
All right.
This is very
right.
reminiscent of someone taking off a red cloak in a room full of skeletons.
All right. So the first one is going, the one is going to hit you for, it hits you with his weapon. It does 8 points of damage, but.
Oh, wait. Sorry, can I cast shield?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
All right, he casts shield. His AC becomes 20
For the rest of the round?
for the rest of his round as a reaction.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So you're able to avoid those 2 hits. Awesome. Cool. All right. In the future, I might not announce what I hit for you for a shield, but that's okay.
Yeah, you don't
Totally
have to.
fine. I mean, we're just, again, Lost Mines of Phandelver, first campaign. This is all cool. Yeah, you're able to do that. And your shield comes up, avoid, and you see them all yelling. They're just using their choppy goblinoid tongue, angry at the shield might appear. All right, who just moved up there? Flander?
That's me. I'm just checking what I can do here.
Okay. All right, that is your turn anyway. So what are you gonna do?
Okay. I want to move up to here.
All right.
Actually, up to here if I can.
Yeah, you can get there. There's a wall right there, so you can either move into the room or be outside of that room, but you can't be on the wall.
Okay. Okay, we'll just move just inside the room, and I'm going to cast Bane on these 3 guys.
All right.
Ooh.
So what is the description of Bane? Is it 3 targets?
Okay. It's 3 targets.
Okay, and
They
then I
all
get a
have to
minus
make
1d4, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
If they have to make a charisma saving throw.
All right, they each get to be affected or not be affected.
Right.
All right, so a charisma saving.
And they have to make it for the next minute.
Got it.
You can must
If
make
I fail
charisma
to
saving
save,
throw.
I'm under Bane for a minute, right?
That's right. Yep.
All right, my charisma is -1. So what do I need? 13?
You need a 13. Yeah.
Ooh, all 3 of them are going to fail.
Yes.
All right.
They are not too big to fail.
All right, give me a second as I
They
do
may be
this.
hard to hit, but they're going to be hard. It's going to be hard for them to hit anything now.
All right.
Oh, cool. Animated icons.
Very cool.
I got to zoom in on this
Yeah,
room
man.
now.
All right. So you can see that there's an animated icon. For those of you watching at home, I will zoom in just a little bit to show you what they look like, which are very cool, and then I'll zoom back out. I'm going to see what they look like. They say Bane. They're all 3 under the Bane effect.
Very cool.
I'll have to kind of move them in tandem because I'm not going to link. If they're long-term affected, I would link them. But for now, I'll just move them both if I need to move them. Okay, cool. So all 3 of them are under the Bane effect. All right, that brings us to Gishar. Gishar, what are you going to do? That'll just help us remind us what we have, because otherwise it's impossible for me to remember everybody's.
He'll step into the room and he will use his breath weapon as a line on those 2 directly north of him.
Nice. Go ahead and make your breath weapon attack. What's my saving
How
throw?
long is
DC
it? 15 feet?
DC 12.
DC 12, but I believe I have to take
And
a
the range is
-4 to my
30
roll.
feet.
30 feet. Okay.
Is that Bane affect my savings throws?
Yes. Yep.
All right. So one rolled a natural 20, which is 19. And the other one adds a 15, which I'm sorry. This is a reflex save, right?
Dexterity save.
Dexterity save.
Mhm.
So my reflexes are a little bit better. I have a +1. So I have a 21 minus.
Well, if they get over 12, then they get half damage.
Okay, so he's gonna take half damage, and this is a 16 minus. Oh, they both got over 12.
All right.
So what's my half damage?
So 8 points, and divided by 2 would be 4 points of damage.
All right. They take that damage, but it would have been nicer if it was.
Full damage.
Yeah, it's just about average on the rolls.
All right. I just got to move this off to the side because that's the way this works.
The crackling lightning, splintering the wood at the end of behind that back hobgoblin there.
Is Geshar able to do that lightning breath in a cone as well?
No, just a
No.
straight line.
No.
Still line.
Okay.
I think there's some changes to how that works in the next D&D though. It was just
D&D 1.
yeah.
1 D&D, yeah. All right, well, we can talk about that later. That's Kashara. That brings us to Finnis. What are you gonna do, Finnis?
Finnis will run right past Gishar up to this goblin, simultaneously having his spiritual weapon. Are any of these guys dodging? Because
No, none of them are dodging now. They've all attacked at Hemo, but Hemo
Okay.
raised his shield spell and deflected all of them.
Can't you
Okay.
move? Can't you move to flanking?
Good call. And that's what, a +2?
It will give you a +2 against another opponent, but you cannot flank with your spiritual. Your spiritual weapon isn't considered threatening.
All right.
But Hemo is.
Yeah.
Hemo is.
Hemo's
but you
very
can-
So
yeah.
the spiritual weapon is going to swing at this guy
All right,
here,
go for
which
it.
will be 24 to hit.
That will hit. How much damage does that spiritual weapon do?
5 points.
Nice.
And then as that swings over, he'll run over behind this hobgoblin and reach out, and he's going to cast Inflict Wounds.
Ooh, that's nasty. You have to make a saving throw for me, or you have to make a targeted to
It
hit.
is a melee spell attack.
All right, go ahead and
think
make
I
your
set one up.
make your attack.
15.
Does that get
but
the
I'm also going to
+2 from
spend
flanking?
+2, so 17.
All right,
And then I'm going to use my bardic inspiration for another d6 on that.
go ahead, roll.
18.
That is exactly what you need to hit him.
Hell yeah.
That's good because
23 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh.
That is nasty as heck.
Holy crap.
You see this thing suddenly shrivel up like a prune in the sun. It just goes.
And I
It
look-
trembles.
I look
His-
over.
His weapon drops. Its shield drops just from the lack of having any strength in its arms. It tries to survive, but it's unable to. It looks up and its face just withers away. Its teeth becoming visible over his
Like
gum
that
line.
scene
as it
from Last
arcs up
Crusade.
Whoa.
It looks up and it just goes and falls.
You melt his face like the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And then I look over at
Don't
the
look at
one
it,
who I just
Marion.
hit with my
Don't
spiritual weapon, and I go, "You're next."
All right. It might be intimidated if it knew what you were saying.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That was awesome. That was great. All right. Finnis just melted the guy's face. That brings us to Emo. Emo, your
Okay.
shield now comes to an end.
Yep, my AC's back down to 15. But that's okay. He's still naturally dexy. He's going to swing at the same hobgoblin. And he's going to try
gonna go-
for like a non-lethal finish on him, like the classic, like get the sword right up to his neck kind of thing.
Okay. You're
Um,
gonna try to do non-lethal damage to him?
If I can land a hit, because my first scimitar does not, that's a 9 to hit, and then a crit fail with a
Natural
6 to hit. Okay.
All right. You're swinging around, but these things are heavily armored and they don't even get close to you. You're just gonna rub it against the shield, almost like you're play fighting. That's how bad those attacks were.
Wow.
That brings us to Waif. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm hearing stuff, so
You definitely can hear stuff.
can I see him from there?
You definitely
Oh,
can
yeah.
see inside that room
Window's
from
wide
there.
open.
Yep, the window's wide open.
Yeah. And we shall do Eldritch Blast. 16 to miss.
No, that is a miss. Everyone's inside now, so zoom a little bit so everyone can see. All right, that brings us to them. All right. This goblin here is still barking. It's still yelling out some orders. They both decide that they are going to still take out their vengeance on Hemo. So they both are going to strike at you.
All right.
All right. One is going to hit. Do you have any more shield spells you want to bring up?
Nah. I've got very few spell slots.
Perfect. All right. You're going to be hit by this. Okay. So what's going to happen is it hits you with this sword. However, it does 7 points of damage when it hits you. But what it does is it lunges forward, and when it hits you, it drives into you, and you are driven back into the hobgoblin behind you, and you get run right into that hobgoblin sword, the other side hobgoblin sword. That other hobgoblin sword doing 8 points of additional damage.
And
Ow.
did you remember to do that to subtract the D4 because they're still under Bane?
Yeah. I
Okay.
subtracted the D4. I appreciate
Okay.
that. One hit, one did
Very well.
not.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because it's
Right.
actually they get a +2 and a -1 D4. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
So one hit you, and you're hit for 7, and then it kind of drives you to the back, and the other hobgoblin strikes you for 8 more, for a total of 15.
Ow.
Right.
And they're yelling at you. Oh God, you did it. You
Oh,
think that they're
yeah.
yelling? You think they
Isn't that
might
the
be
best you
commanding you to
got?
surrender?
No, you first.
All right, that was them. That
These
brings
swords
us.
aren't stuck in you, they're stuck in me.
Flander.
Like struggling to keep
What are you gonna do?
Okay.
Hey, both those hobgoblins appear to be very angry right now. Clearly.
Okay. First, I'm going to take my bonus action
Yep.
and go Gashar, second, and give him bardic inspiration.
All right, Gashar, you are inspired.
Okay. And for my action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Hemo.
Oh, thank you.
And you are
Nice.
healed for 5 points of damage.
Nice.
Cool. Boom. Flander. After Flander goes, looks like we are due Gashar. Gashar, you are inspired. You have these two baneful. They have like this black energy effect that kind of swirls around them as the bane kind of interrupts what they're doing.
He runs right up to the nearest one next to Hemo.
Yep.
Kind of nods at Hemo, and then he'll take a full attack on this guy.
All right, go for it.
So he misses with his quarterstaff.
All right. He puts his shield on and smack right into it. What are you gonna do?
And then he'll take and do his let's see this. Yeah. He'll do a flurry of blows as his bonus action.
Gonna spend one of your points?
I do. Spends 1 key point.
What does it allow you to do?
2 unarmed strikes.
Go for it.
1 and 2. All right. So the first one's a 7 that misses clearly, and the second one's a 16.
16 also misses.
He
These
just
things are
comes up,
heavily
swing,
armored.
Miss, clanking off of his armor.
Flurry of misses. Remember from
Yes.
my month from 3.5? That was the big joke. All right.
Oh wait, I have the bardic inspiration, right?
Yeah, would you?
Let me roll that 1d6 on the second one. An extra 4.
Hey.
So
All
the
right.
second one, he basically comes around. The first one clinks the armor and misses pretty badly, and the second one, I think he might connect with a 20.
That does hit.
Okay, he does hit him with a 20.
All right. How much damage do you do to this?
3 points of damage.
Nice.
Maybe just kicks him in the shin on his way around on that second or the third attack.
All right.
No one expects the low kick to the shin.
All right, cool. That is
Sure.
Bishar bringing us to Finis. Finis, here you are in this rickety old town of Conyberry that's been supposedly evacuated for a long time, and you somehow stumble across these hobgoblins and this goblin sort of demanding tolls on the road. And now you're in the middle of this fight in this abandoned room. What are you going to do?
He'll command his spiritual weapon to make another swing at the red dot guy.
All right.
Ooh.
23 to hit
That does hit.
for 8 points of force damage.
8 points of force damage is huge, but not enough. This floppy red dot guy, as we like to call him, he seems to be holding his own. He's taking a lot of damage. He's looking very, very bad right now. And he's looking. You can see the concern in his eyes as you all rush forward, suddenly realizing he's quite outnumbered and maybe outclassed.
And his shin hurts now.
And then Finis will step forward and take his action to cast a Cure Wounds on Hemo.
Ooh.
All right, Finish. You are or Hemo. You are going to be healed.
6 points.
Ooh,
Nice.
Nice.
Way to
Hemo's
go.
looking pretty all right.
Lot
And then
better.
now it's your turn, Hemo. What are you going to do?
Probably more swings, because even spell wise, all I do is attack AC. So I'll take a couple more swings at that goblin there.
Perfect.
The one down to the bottom right there. That's a 23 to hit. 6 points of damage on the bottom hobgoblin.
Oh, that is awesome. What's going to happen? You
Can I
strike
still
this
try to
creature. What armor class did you hit, by the way?
23.
23 to hit?
you
Can
for
I
telling
still
me.
try to like non-lethally take him down, like take him down to the ground, or get my sword up to his throat or something?
Absolutely. If
Flat
that's you.
side.
If that's what you choose to do, yeah, you can do that.
It's a flat edge.
You slap him with the flat edge of your sword.
All right, you. I'll put that little green thing on there, and that means he's sort of like he's like on your. He's like in unconscious right now. I'm sure there's an unconscious one, but they don't really. The little black.
I mean, I
icons
could
don't
just
appear very
bonk
well.
him in the head.
Yeah, you kind of
The
knock him
hilt
out.
of it, if you want me to knock him out.
Nope, that's totally fine. You hit him and knock him out. That's your one attack. Do you have a second attack?
Yeah, I can just whirl around and swing my backhand at him.
Damn.
23 to hit on that one as well. That's 4 points of slashing to the top hobgoblin.
All right. Are you going to kill him or are you going to subdue him?
I'm feeling merciful at this moment. I feel like we just kind of beat these guys. So I'll bonk him on the head if I can.
Knock two out in one round.
Boom, wham, ding. They both fall over.
Nice.
They skewer him hard. And he's
Yeah, they get knocked down.
That will teach you.
That unless somebody else wants
pulls
to
the
do
long
something.
swords out of his sides.
The little goblin ran into this house
Yeah, a little goblin ran over
somewhere.
Yeah, in that other room. You're not sure where he's at. All right. What are you guys going to do?
Well, I'll take the hobgoblin's shields and swords, and
Sure.
I'll toss the shields outside and carry the swords for now.
All right, you can certainly put longswords on your sheet if you'd like. The shields are outside.
I'll try to search up here.
I'm just kind of intending to keep the longswords away from them as long as we're
You're moving
Worried
up to
about
this
goblins.
position, so go ahead and move yourself
he'll
there.
basically pulling a dodge action and start searching.
All right. Well, you can't be dodging and searching at the same time.
If you're saying that it's a search action, then yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
You can certainly search, but you can't be dodging while you're searching.
Okay.
It's like dodging while reading. You're like,
I tried to play a Nintendo Switch game while walking up the stairs, and the wires just got crossed. It just doesn't work.
I'd end up falling down the stairs on my face, I'm sure.
I did.
So he's going to just do his dodge action. He's going to walk through the space so that we know what the room looks like, what the layout looks like. He's not
Cool.
searching. Just-
Reveal area.
Walking through. That is all.
We know you're here, puppet.
Come out, come out.
All right, and I'll show you some of the. I'll show you kind of the rest of this area since you've clearly walked around this area and you know the basics outline of this room.
Yeah.
All right, you managed to, and I'll reveal the rest of this for everyone else who's watching. You see the space that you revealed. You don't see anything specifically. You don't see that goblin that ran up this way either. But you can see this area is what you see, which is a bunch of broken down furniture and ages old. You think that some of this stuff has been here forever. There are literally parts of the trees have overgrown into the wood below. You can see part of the wood is broken apart. The ceiling, the roof of it here, you can look up and kind of see into the sky from here. You can see the lights of the sky shining down in various spots where clearly this has been here for many, many, many decades.
Nice.
All right,
digs.
you're kind of out of combat unless you do something else. What else? What? Wait, what do you want to do? You've been outside for a minute.
She'll come in. And they look like they're still breathing.
They do. They're you walk in and you can see they're out cold.
They got stuck and lost. They're done.
Why are they
Smells
still
like bleeding. Well, they're done.
Nah, your wounds are starting to close.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. He was magically healed.
Cool. All right. Anybody else doing anything?
All right. After we've determined that there isn't anybody obviously else in the room here, I guess we'll actually search up here then.
All right. Give me a search roll, please.
Okay. That's an investigation, I believe, right?
No, you're gonna give me a perception roll to start with.
Perception.
So investigation is like once you find something, like say you found like a little box, a puzzle box or a chest, you can use it. You can investigate it. But if you're just looking for stuff, that would be perception.
7.
All right. You look around the room,
11.
you can see part of that bed is an old chair there. Just going by what you see on the map, there's some chipped over dressers and whatever. This looks like it was kind of run through. Now, you know that years ago, Conyberry was attacked. Now, legends say that either could have been barbarians or orcs. It wasn't clear. It's just like some entity attacked this. And the people fled. The people fled. Some of the people fled before the attacks, and you know this. That's why you know the legends of what's going on. But anybody who was here during the attack that you know of did not survive. That you know of. All right, what are you gonna do? You see that? Anybody else gonna do anything in this house?
So that one woman that said there was something somewhere, was that Conyberry or was that a different town?
You're talking about Gariel, talking about Agatha?
No, it was the woman that we saved from the dungeon.
No, she had said
somewhere.
Yeah, she said that she had a necklace that she had when she was a child, a young woman, her family owned an apothecary, and that was in the town called Thunder Tree.
Not here.
Not here, yes.
We are missing another combatant. Hemo, do you have that wand?
Oh, yeah. Hemo will walk into the center of the house here. Hey, look, the whole house is within 30 feet. Cool. And he'll point the wand of secrets at the floor.
All right, Hemo,
I use an action to expend a charge and find all secrets within, well, the nearest secret within secret door or trap within 30 feet.
All right, you do find a secret in here. What you're going to find by expending that charge is that you find right here in this fireplace here that you see that there is a secret, probably a secret compartment or something like that in here.
Well,
that's what you find.
He's going to go up to it and open it.
All right, you pull it open. What you find is a book, and this book describes how to craft and build bells, giant bells used for towers bells used for that you put in lofts or whatever, a la Batman, Gotham kind of bells that you'd see. So it's a manual for building bells. It looks like it's been stuffed and hidden in here.
Open it.
Sure. He opens it. He opens it and gives it to Finnis. Like, I don't know. Aren't you the bell guy?
Yeah, finish to look through it.
You're gonna toll that
Just
book?
hope you don't hear my bells, Hemo.
Toll the book.
Hate
Okay,
to be the one to say
so
I told
Finnish,
you
you're gonna
so.
take that book of bell manufacturing.
Yeah, I'll look through it, flip through it.
It's exactly what
anything
it
that's
says. It looks
weird.
like it's been well used. You can see the markings of grubbing hands of you can see where somebody has had painted fingers touching the edges. Where there has been people with obviously soot and whatever handling it. This book has been well handled, but you don't know why it was hidden. It seems an odd thing to hide.
Yeah. He'll look through it and see if there's any weird marks or anything like that. Anything that's like
Give me
stands out.
a investigation roll.
Investigation. No, that's intimidation. Well, not better. 4.
So you don't intimidate the book, nor do you find any other thing other than the fact that it looks like exactly what I described, which is a manual that it tells you how to craft or cast bells. And in this, what they actually do is they build casting systems out of clay or some heavy material, and then they pour the material in and cast these giant bells.
Finnis will just step out the front door with the book and look around the town to see if there's even any bells or like anything around town.
You look around and you see nothing in this town. It's they're all single story buildings. You see no towers or anything like that. But you have this book that has a manual that tells you how to cast or create bells.
This is quite curious. I think we should hold on to this.
Okay. What are you going to do with those 2
Fascinating.
creatures that are unconscious? Now, you can stay in this town and try to explore it. Now, I will say that for the most part, Conyberry was taken out or destroyed many years ago. There's been probably a lot of creatures that have gone through this, but you also have recently found something. So it's up to you whether you want to spend a bunch of time exploring the spaces of Conyberry, or if you want to leave it and come back to it some other time.
So, Waif is standing there.
Yep.
Do you speak their language? Looks over at Hemo.
No.
Does anybody speak their language?
They do.
Not me.
The little goblin who ran did.
The
So
goblin spoke common.
So we don't have
He did. They might speak common.
Don't you think you should find the translator? Otherwise, these are just a hindrance.
Yeah, we probably won't be sticking around too much longer. I think, hell, I can just jam them in a closet or something.
Well,
Stick them under a
they've
chair. We
been-
won't be here for too long.
They've supposedly been collecting tolls. Search them.
All right, you're going to search them?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Finnis, you easily find a satchel that has 130 gold pieces on them.
Nice.
I'll take out like 10 for myself, and then I will toss the rest to the party.
Perfect.
Treasure.
You take your 130 gold, you put it in your pocket, and you toss the 10 to the party. You think that you take out
the
10
opposite
gold,
of what you
toss
said?
20 to the party. That's right.
That was nothing like what I just said.
Now I have
This is like a
69
Candy Crush
gold.
commercial. This is not how any of this is supposed to go.
Nice.
Okay, so you do exactly what you said. You take the 10 gold, you give the rest of the party. Anybody else going to do anything? You have their swords, Hemo. Their shields have been tossed outside. They have looks like chainmail armor on.
Do they wear pants? Can I pants them?
You certainly can tear your pants off if you want to get your 15-year-old giggles. Feel free to
What
take.
are you doing to them?
No, there's no. He was like, he just goes and I think he chucks him in the bedroom. He just drags him into the bedroom and like
Okay, that's no
tosses
You
him
problem.
don't
into a
want to
corner.
expend your newest 50 foot of rope?
Or we could
Oh,
just strip them
actually,
naked.
that's where the last 50 feet went, and
We could just strip them naked and put them in bed together.
You're gonna post it on Instagram or something? I think that might go against their
Blackmail.
policy. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Despite your best intentions, you're probably gonna be at least temp banned from Instagram.
wait, do they both have pouches?
No, just the one that has the red dot had pouches.
Okay, I hide that pouch in the other guy's pocket.
With the 120 gold in it?
Well, empty.
Okay.
We took the gold. I'm just gonna like hide the money carrier's stuff on the other guy's person.
Yes.
Hemo
Okay.
giggles a little.
Okay.
Because that's who took it, not the people that beat the fuck out of it.
That's all right. I'm glad you're entertaining yourself.
He's gonna wake up and think, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's go.
All right. Now, are you gonna try to look through this Conyberry, or are you gonna head up the North Trail? Now, it's up to you if you want to tell everybody what you saw.
There is a trail leading north, just like Gariel said.
Okay. Well, that's promising. I am no expert on the undead, but it seems ghosts will stick around things they're attached to, right? There's got to be some reason that this place is haunted for a ghost like this to stick around, right? Maybe there's
I remember
something in
that Guriel
Conyberry
said that
can
there
have
was
some-
that there is a warren or a grove or something that was just north of the town. That's where she thinks
Yeah.
that Agatha
Okay.
is.
Mhm.
Do you guys remember the eye creature? What is attacking us in that cavern?
Ugh. Yeah, it kept
We
looking
left
at
it.
us.
We left it there and kept moving, and then it attacked us from behind. I think we should finish searching this town so that we don't get attacked from behind.
So you want to finish them?
Yes. Waif's suggestion is sound.
At least
Finish
stop
them.
their little toll operation.
Mhm.
All right. What do you
Finish them.
You have a choice. What are
Yes.
you gonna do?
Kill them, and then let's search the rest of these buildings.
That's all Waif needs.
All right. So Waif, you're gonna go up and kill those things.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do?
Sit there, truck.
All right. You walk up with your blade of some sort. I'm
I
sure
have
you
a
have a
dagger.
dagger, and you finish them off without much of a problem. Am I killing him? Not killing. I'm assuming you're. Are you doing anything, Hemo? She walks up and she pulls her dagger out. You can tell me what
You're
you want
not,
to do.
he's not even in the room.
Yeah, I'll put you over there. I'm assuming that you went over.
Yeah, you can put me in the room.
Go ahead, you can move yourself. But yeah, so you kill those two. All right.
We must
Anything-
search this town.
I'm looking around for that goblin.
All right. You do notice this window is open.
Which one? The northern?
This window here is open.
The one that I cleaned?
The one that you cleaned. Yep.
That goblin is out and about. He will cause trouble.
Bashar runs back out into the street. He looks around.
This
All right.
window.
I will back up the map so everyone can see what's going on.
It's an 8. Does not see anything. His passive is still higher than that.
All right, you run out into the area to look around.
Squinting into the sun.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, you can see several buildings around here, and there's a well, and I'm going to back it up so that people at home can kind of see an aerial big picture view of what everyone is looking
Zooming
at.
it out.
Yeah, just so you can see what the town is in general to get an idea of the size of what it is. So that tells you the little water area to the south there. There's a bunch of buildings. Feel free to take time to explore those buildings. But I do remind you that you came up here to speak with Agatha. But if you want to spend time in Conyberry and explore it, that is up to you.
Well, I'm wondering if, I mean, we don't know where Agatha was in life, right? Like just by proximity, it's likely she might have lived in Conyberry at some point.
There is a grove to the north where she is seen.
Yeah, I just think there may be some clues to the reason she still clings here in here.
It's very possible if you want to take time to look through the ruins.
Plus, if you're so keen on killing that little goblin.
Yes, he will attack us from behind.
Yes, I agree with Kishar. He's a threat. He's a threat behind us, just like these two were.
They were absolutely no threat to you. They were done.
They are now.
Himo goes, "You are no fighter."
No, I am not.
And he'll go join Gishar.
All right. You hear someone yelling out from outside. Now, Gishar, you are outside now, right?
Yeah.
So, Gishar, you hear a voice yelling from this area here. From this area here, you can see on the map.
All the way to the east.
Yeah, all the way back there. You hear a distant voice yelling out, and it says, "Hey, motherfuckers, I'm right here." That's what you hear.
No, I look down.
In this goblinish kind of.
Can I see him?
You don't see anything, but that's what you hear. You hear something yelled at, and you look over. Give me a perception roll. You have to do it at disadvantage because you're quite far away.
Did it sound like a goblin?
Sounded like the exact same goblin you were
16.
speaking with before.
16 is my low.
No, you don't see where this thing went to, but you hear it up the hill, up this ravine, this hill up here.
All right. It came from that way. Gishar will point.
All right.
Come on, let's get him.
All right. Well, are you guys gonna pursue the voice of that goblin that yelled at you, or are you going to decide to abandon this and head north toward where you think Agatha might be?
Well, he wants our attention.
Gishar starts running that way.
Perfect.
And he's maybe trying to lure us into a trap. So if we're going to do this, I suggest we proceed with caution.
Well, as Gishar runs forward, Gishar, make your full movement. You say you're running forward, so please do.
Yeah, he does the 40, and then I guess he'll do a 1 round to move, and it comes back up to there.
All right, so let's kind of go through and give everybody a chance to do something, not necessarily in initiative order, but let's just kind of go through. So
he's literally like, this way, let's get him.
We'll just kind of go around the table as we move here. So I'm going to say, Flander, what are you going to do? By the way, your spell is ended, Finis.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a 1 minute spell, right?
Yeah.
So Flander, what are you going to do? I'll give you an
blast it, and he runs after Gishar.
You start saying, I'm like, we need to make it a point. Also, he's like, Leroy Jenkins.
God damn it, Leroy.
Let's get him.
Get him, Ray.
That was your
Oh
plan?
my God, he went in.
Get him?
All right, what are you doing?
Who else is going?
Yeah, I'm running up to Gishar here.
Lander does. Hemo and
All right,
Finis,
that is. Let's go to Finis. What are you gonna do?
Finis will. He's not gonna go full speed. He's just gonna trot after them.
All right, that is. That brings us to Hemo. What are you gonna do?
Well, he was gonna head out Geshar's way anyway, so he's gonna 15 feet to the door, 15 feet out to here.
Then of course you can move another 15 if you want to dash.
Can't I move another 30 if I dash?
I apologize. Whatever your movement is, you can dash to that
Yeah.
30 feet. Yeah.
Yes, it will do that.
All right. and then Wave, you already moved. All right,
Mhm.
so now we're gonna go to Flander. What are you gonna? I'm gonna put Gashar at the top of the top of this. So Gashar, what are you gonna do?
I'm pretty sure I heard in this direction here, so he's gonna still kind of run that area.
Okay,
40 to there, and then basically he's trying to get his bearings at this point. Because he doesn't know. So he'll come to this intersection right here.
sure.
It's kind of like do I go to a building to the north? Do I go to a building to the east, or to the path that is continuing up to the northeast? So he'll stop there and look around a little bit more diligently.
All right, move yourself there, and you look around. So you've already moved more than your movement, more than 40 feet, right?
Let me double check. I think
You moved 60, right?
It was about that. Yep.
Okay, so you look around. That's what you're doing. All right, that
I have
is
to do his perception on
Flanders. Your turn.
round.
Okay. I'll stay with him. Just
You could probably catch up to him if you dashed this round.
All right,
I'm just gonna keep him in sight, 'cause-
Hemo, what are you gonna do?
He's going to take a 30 feet of movement out this way.
I didn't get a little closer so people can see a little bit better of all of the chaos that's happening. All right.
And I think he's going to draw his longbow and ready a shot if any armed goblins jump out on this like hill here.
Got it.
His
Right.
longbow's got a reach of 120 feet, so he can sort of cover
Perfect.
out to like the sides of that house on the hill there.
Nice. All right, that is Dennis, did you go? I don't remember what order we went in. So have you
I
gone
will
yet?
also
Go ahead.
just walk up another 30 feet here.
All right, and then it's
and
Wave, it's your
prepare
turn.
Toll the Dead
You're gonna toll the dead of who?
on something that pops out of a building
Got it.
over near
All right.
Gashar.
Wave running up behind. You're sneaking.
No,
You're just running.
just
Okay.
moving.
All right, let's keep going. Gashar, what are you gonna do?
I'm actually going to do my perception now at this point, see what I can see in the area.
All right, give me a perception roll.
16.
16. Okay. You perceive something. You can see right here the edge of a probably heavily covered goblin. And you're kind of up the slope. And I'll move this over on the map so people at home can see as well.
So sort of on that rock cliff on the
Yeah,
to the
I'm
east
gonna
there.
move this over everybody so they can see, and I'll position what that is. It's right here. It looks like something's hidden there. It's under heavy cover, so you're probably getting like a -5 to hit it.
All right. Well, he'll look back at Flander and do like a quick point like this, and then he's going to run another 40 feet, just basically right in front of him. Sees if he'll take a shot at me. It's a normal move.
All right. That is. Wait, Flander, what are you gonna do? You see Yashar points up to that hill, and then he takes off. He's moving much faster than you can move.
Just runs along the path,
Okay.
basically.
okay. Well, I'll keep up as best I can.
All right, go ahead and move your 30, or you can move if you want to do any. If you don't want to do anything else, you can move 60 and move past him.
Mhm. No, I'll stay with him.
Okay, and
I
you
don't
have an
wanna go
action. Then.
past him.
Do you have an action you want to
Okay.
take?
Okay.
Then run up the hill, make a deal with God.
You think that hill? You think that hill that rise up there would probably require a climb check of 10
Okay.
and be considered a 5 feet of be considered difficult terrain, 10 feet of movement.
Yeah. Now, is that the climb check? Is that acrobatics or athletics?
That's athletics.
Okay. I'll just stay with him already in action.
Perfect. All right, that goes to Hemo. What are you gonna do?
Well, nothing jumped out at that moment, so
You saw that Gashar pointed up there. You can certainly give a spot roll, but from where you're at, you're definitely getting disadvantage. You're way far
Yeah.
away right now.
no. You know, he can make it with a full dash 60 feet to this doorway.
Okay. certainly can do that. All right.
Would I be able to open the door and peek, or
Yeah, you certainly can. Yep. And
I'd
I
like
will
to do that as long
reveal.
as I'm
I
here?
will reveal what you see. That's what you see.
More
See a
destruction.
broken down building with overgrowth. The ceiling is broken through. The only thing that's of any decent stability is the fireplace that's rising up.
Well, Hemo's probably going to keep running after Geshar then on his next turn, but that's all he does.
All right, Finis, your turn.
I guess we'll double move up to there. And that's all.
All right, everyone's racing forward. And I'm going to allow you, Wave, to then move. Or if you're going to do something else, let me know. You run up next to that well.
Yeah, I'm just booking.
Okay, you book past her. All right, Gashar, what are you doing?
I did not get shot at, huh?
No.
All right.
Well, actually, you will see this. You will see this door. You will see this door right here.
Mhm.
This door that's right here. If I can get on the right layer,
I see
you
it.
know.
Yep.
Oh, you do see in the map?
Yep, right. That one, that door.
Yeah, this door right here. That door right there opens and closes.
Suspicious.
Kind of opens and closes. That's what you see.
All right.
So your turn. What are you
So
gonna do?
yeah, he's gonna basically just gonna run around this bend here.
All right,
So
and
5,
for the people at home, that bend actually comes. There's like a
20,
rise on the road. that kind of
30, 35, 40.
rises up. I'm gonna move the map over so everyone can see.
Don't trust your climbing skills.
All right, he gets up to there with his 80.
All right, that's no problem.
And as he actually as he sees it, he'll just say the door. Not being verbose today.
Yeah, you're a little bit. Yeah, the door. All right. That brings us to Flander. What are you gonna do, Flander?
Okay, well, I can make it 60 feet to about here.
Perfect. Hemo, what are you doing? Gonna explore that building or go help your friends?
Split the party. Split the party. Just kidding.
If I can make it 30 feet to the cliffside, would it be a
It's
Would
just
it-
a climb, which is part of your movement. You can just do it. You can just do
Okay.
a.
So if I did nothing but move this turn, I'd be able to move 30 feet and then climb?
Yeah, and it's a 10 foot of movement to climb up, so you can keep moving past that. So you can move.
Okay.
So it's
So I
difficult
could-
terrain. So at that particular point, it's 2 squares, so it would be almost 20 feet to climb right there. And so it's
Okay.
difficult. It's difficult terrain. Whatever the squares are, that's what it's going to cost you. But you can climb up, and you need an athletics check of 10.
Okay. Oh no. That's
Didn't quite-
can I
What'd you roll?
This is silly. Can I use my DM inspiration?
Go for it if that's what you got.
Don't
You
do
still
it.
have it left?
Yeah. Nah, I won't. You only get
All
one
right.
of those at a time.
Yeah.
Emo tries and fails to climb.
All right.
That's very Gashar of you. This wall is blocking.
Finish
my
your turn
progress.
and then wave. So finish and wave. Go ahead and make your moves.
And still run right up to this cliffside by Hemo.
All right. You gonna climb up?
I don't have enough movement.
All
Don't
right.
try it.
You can certainly, you can dash action up it. If you want. Wave, what are you doing? You're not
I
burning
moved.
me. Okay. All right. Gashar, what are you doing?
He'll start start to sneak. Here he's gonna be stealthy. Yes. Very stealthy. He's got
Damn.
21 on the stealth.
That is awesome.
And he'll sneak his way 5, 10, 15 up to the door.
All right. Go
Is
ahead.
there it's not there's no glass panes in the door, or is there?
There's nothing. It's a wooden door. It seems to be old. It's probably barely on its hinges.
Oh. So is there any cracks or anything that would be that I could see through?
You can probably see through it barely. You can kind of see part of a room inside there. I won't reveal the room so much as tell you that what you see is the remains of a probably broken, turned over table and some carpet and part of a carpet and a chair. You can
Okay.
kind of see. There's nothing of detail
basically
you can
just sneaks
see.
up to the
Yeah.
door like that, and
The-
he'll try to like he'll actually try to peek in there and look
Yeah.
look and
The room
stuff. So
looks.
that's what he's doing.
You gonna open the door or you gonna?
I guess not seeing anybody like immediately, like obviously there, he
Yeah.
will actually like sort of push it and sort of like kind of keep the partial cover he's got here.
You got it. All right. I will. You got to open the door,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. So I will reveal that room for you. All right. So you kind of see it looking at that room.
Well, it's
So
15
so you walked
15
up and
feet
you
of movement.
opened the door. That's all
Yeah.
you've done. You
That's
got
true.
What else? What else do you want to do?
I guess so. That was only 15 feet of movement.
Yeah. And you basically manipulated one object, so you can.
Sure, that was a
So you
free
basically
action,
have
right?
another rest of your movement and an action to take.
All right, so he'll take the 5 remaining feet of sneaking because you sneak at half speed, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So he'll take that to basically right to the threshold of the door, and then he'll actually look around, look through the room. He'll do a full-on perception.
Give me a
check,
perception roll.
see if he sees anybody. And I rolled a natural 1 on that one.
All right,
So no
you
better than
see-
my passive.
You see a fireplace, some chairs,
Yeah.
a table, somebody. Nothing else of value.
Same old.
All right, that brings us to Flander. What are you doing? You see your companion has disappeared into the darkness. Now, in because it's daylight, you can see the streams of light coming through here. So it's considered low light for you inside of here.
Okay.
There's enough
Well,
there's windows and things like that. So it's like think
I'm
of
gonna
an
run
inside
up
of
to
a
the
house
door
during the day where
next to
Yeah, there's
Gashar here.
Yep.
shadows, but some light.
Yep.
To sort of stay covered behind the wall here.
All right, as everyone's getting closer, I'm going to zoom in a little bit with the map so people can get an idea of what they're seeing. All right. There you go. People can hopefully can see a little better then. All right. That was Flander. That brings us to Hemo. What are you doing?
He's gonna try again to climb.
All right, give me a climb roll.
Athletics. Very bad.
All right, this cliff face is just really difficult. There's not a whole handholds, you know. I mean, sometimes you pick a bad spot and you're kind of trying to claw up this thing, and you're just like, you know, you're just not able to find purchase and get up there. So
There's a nice ledge right here. Right, might try that spot.
like, now you can take the dash action and try to climb again if you want.
Nah.
Okay,
I do have a grappling hook.
you do. Finnis, what do you do?
Try to use that. But he's gonna take a walk in that case.
I get 10 athletics to try to climb.
Yeah, you make it.
What's the big deal, Hemo?
Just looks back.
That's 20 feet of movement you've taken right there.
20? Okay, and then I'll go to this corner.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of scurry up the side. I mean, you slipped a little
Actually-
bit because you rolled a perfect 10. You know, it wasn't like you leaped with a
Yeah.
30, but you were able to make it up without a problem. All right,
And
that
then,
was
I'm actually gonna use my action to just double move and get right behind Gashar.
all right. No problem. All right, you kind of come up behind Gashar. Waif, what are you gonna do?
I too shall try and climb because I'm such a good climber.
All right. What'd you get?
13.
All right, you climb up again. You can move to here. Now will be 20 feet of movement to here. If I can get that. Yeah. So feel free to move to there. Yeah, now that's 20 feet of movement.
And I'm going to hide.
All right.
Hmm.
What'd you hide at?
13.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. I mean,
Probably beat some passives.
well, it's probably half the passives out there. All right. That is Waif. That goes to Gashar. What are you gonna do, Gashar?
All right. Clearly nobody's in this room, so he's going to keep sneaking in the room. So 5, 10, 20. He's basically he's going to keep sneaking so he can look into this next space. 30.
Gashar,
Is that a
give me a perception roll.
all right? 16.
Feel an unnatural feeling in this room, in this area. You kind of walk in, and as you're kind of moving in, you feel sort of like something is odd, something is strange. You kind of get a feeling of loneliness.
Are the scales sticking up in the back of his neck?
Yeah, you kind of feel alone. You got a feel of loneliness. You kind of feel like this house is eerily. You ever walk into like an old church that's been spray painted and it seems like there is at one time was probably very, very alive with people, but now with the lack of people and the lack of things, it feels unnaturally distant or alone. You kind of get this feeling of loneliness. You're like it's eerie.
I mean, I am alone in this room right now too. That is totally fitting. But yeah, he kind of feels the weight of that as he gets to the edge of this.
All right,
to the ground. He
You
will
move-
look down the. Is this a hallway here?
Yes, you do, and I will reveal that area to you.
It puts him a little bit on edge.
There you go. Reveal that correctly?
Yeah.
Yes.
That looks good. There's a little bit more movement, but he'll stop and look back at his companions and sort of wait for them now. He wants to feel that companionship again.
Yeah, it's a very strange feeling that you suddenly had. And there's a door at the end of the hall, as you can see, right? You can see that end of the hall.
Oh, okay. It looked like it curled, like it opened up to the right.
Yeah, there's a
But
door.
straight ahead
There's
is
a
a
door
door?
at the end of the hall, and it opens up to the right. And
Got
in
it.
fact, I can kind of sort of reveal
So
that.
that's a
little
door,
bit.
and that's
I'm trying
the-
to be helpful with the the revealing of the walls without giving up too many things.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's kind of good.
okay. Perfect.
But I know that last time I didn't exactly reveal everything correctly, so I don't want you to feel
Oh,
like
looks
I'm
great.
shorting you. Okay,
Thank you.
all right. So that was Gashar. Flander, what are you gonna do?
Okay. I will come up and offer Gishar companionship.
All right,
Say, what do you? Okay.
Gashar, or when you are Flander, when you walk in, you kind of get to next to Gashar and you kind of go up to ask him. What are you gonna ask him?
Says, what do you see here?
Do you feel that?
Gashar or
Do I?
Flander, when he says that, you kind of look down the hall, and suddenly in your brain, it's not so much that it's an illusion or that the place is shifting or that it's magic, but you get the sense that this hall that you're looking down seems very long, very, very distant. Like you're getting a feeling like you're walking into some unnatural or difficult area. You're not exactly sure why, but you get this tinglings. It's not like, remember the pit that you had underneath your center square head? It was cold. It doesn't feel cold, but you just kind of get this eerie feeling about what you're seeing. All right. Are you going to do anything else but move down there, Flander?
I'll just have a look, and then I'll just say to Gishar, this is weird. I don't like this.
Let's wait for the rest of them to arrive.
All right.
Okay.
Hemo, what are you going to do?
Mhm.
Well, if they're waiting, he's just going to keep walking or running. In this case, a full 60 feet will get him around the edge to
If you
here.
go around the bend. That's my new song.
Huh,
Just for you, Hemo.
that's awesome.
I'm
Hey,
going
I'm
to step
not
away for a moment. I'm
fantastic.
still
He
I
listening.
thought it was a
gonna-
songwriter or a singer.
All right. Yeah, no, Hemo would just go catch up with the rest of the party then.
All right.
Unhappy
Well,
that he didn't make the climb,
make
but
your movement. All right. All right. That's Hemo. Finis, your turn. What are you going to do?
Right back up behind Gashar.
He'll ask you the same thing as you approach. Do you feel that? It's loneliness.
Finis, you too feel this but you have a different feeling. You have a feeling of misalignment. Unlike your friends who kind of feel lonely, you feel like there's a misalignment. There's something that has not been set right. There's something that's wrong about what's going on here. And you think that it has to do something about the building, or something about something that happened here. Maybe the building itself has some significance. You're feeling it all around you. You kind of feel it. Like I said, think of it like if you ever if you ever went to a site where you knew a murder happened, right? Like you get that feeling there's nothing you can put your finger on, but if you've ever like saw that in a like a walking tour or something, it just feels wrong.
I look over to Flander and I go, I hope you still have that little pebble.
All right, Waif, what are you gonna do?
I moved to there stealthing.
All right, and with that, we roll initiative.
Oh no.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20. That's not a good sign for enrolling initiative. What is my speed? Okay.
Roll the natural 5.
I rolled a natural 1.
I rolled a natural 3.
Come on, go fast. 22.
Ended up as a 7 for what it's worth.
So wait,
You're
let's go to Wait, what'd you get?
5.
Again? No, you Gashar, what'd you get?
7.
7. Flander,
6.
6. Hemo,
22.
nice. Finis,
1.
1. All right. Here's what's gonna happen. I want the Finis, Gashar, and Flander to make me a perception roll and tell me if you get a 15 or higher.
Yes. 20.
No.
No.
What about what? Okay,
4.
so Finis, you are not surprised by what's about to happen. The other two are. So what we're gonna do is this is all gonna happen in one round between the people that are not surprised. You're outside, so you don't get to do anything in this round, and then we're gonna carry on from there. Okay, so the first round, I think Kashara is surprised and Flander is surprised, right? Okay,
Yes.
so let me show you what happens. What you see is around you, out of nowhere, out of the ground, swells up the longing shadow of death itself, arching and reaching up from the ground like ichors of see-through ichor and goo. It almost looks like it seeps out of the ground, rising up in strands, only to solidify as amorphous humanoid shadowy forms around you. They go. They're going to move first because Finis only has a speed factor of 1. Boom, they appear. I'll zoom in the map, knowing that Hemo is outside here.
He's about 30 feet from the door.
When that happens, the door that you had opened slams closed. You hear it. Bam, slams closed.
The front door, the one we went
Front
through?
door that slams closed. And you hear a whispering voice that Finis primarily hears. The rest of you are kind of like shocked. You hear a whispering voice that says, "You shall never leave. You shall never leave." It whispers. You hear it. All right. Gishar, it attacks you. It attacks you with advantage. It hits a +4, hits a 17.
That it.
You are hit and you are struck by 10 points of necrotic damage. Now, I want you to roll me a d4.
Two.
You are sapped of 2 of your strength.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
The other one is going to attack Flander.
There's 2?
There are 2, yes.
Mhm.
Flander, you are also struck because I hit armor class 21.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You are going to take, of course, I clicked it closed. You're going to take 8 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to roll me a d4, please.
1.
You are sapped of 1 point of strength.
Okay.
This strength is gone until you do a long rest,
Okay.
or unless you have spells that can restore.
Okay.
All right. That is now Finis's turn.
Finis is very concerned about this. He will aim at the shadow that jumped Gashar first. He's
Yes.
going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Perfect. Guiding bolt. What kind of damage does it do?
Radiant.
Awesome. And go ahead and do your attack.
15
Get
to
him.
hit.
$15?
Yes.
That will hit it. How much
Hey.
damage do you do?
It takes 12 radiant.
All right. When you hit it, that radiant damage hits the thing, and it just goes, and the light hits it, and almost as if the light itself is causing damage to it. It quivers, goes, and then just evaporates.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Was it?
And then I'll go, are you okay? You too.
You might never know.
Mhm.
All right. Now, round refreshes. That shadow has a 22, as does Hemo. Hemo, you get to go first, though. What are you going to do? You're outside.
And that door in front of me just slammed shut.
It did.
Well, I'm gonna move my 30 feet to the door.
All right. You run
Um,
your 30 feet up to the door. You're just
how far
outside the
was
door
that?
now.
Yeah. Do I hear fighting going on in there?
You do. You hear it. You hear
Right.
that the Hemo or Finis just cast a spell, and there's conflict happening inside.
I kick the door open.
All right. Give me a athletics check.
Okay. 13.
You hit that door, but this door seems from the outset to be flimsy. But when you hit it, it bounces back. And when you do, there's the door itself has an eerie shimmer around it. Kind of quavers and wivers in this blackish ichor.
Wave, can you get through the window?
All right. That was Hemo. That brings us to it. Gets to go. This shadow gets to go. Flander, it's lusts for the life that you brought it. You shall never leave, and it doesn't. It plans on taking it. I roll a +4, 21 to hit you.
Do you really have to ask if that hits?
I know. He's going to suck from you 13 points of necrotic damage.
Ow.
You are also going to then roll me a d4.
Oh. Yikes.
How much did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
That means you are down 5 points of strength, or 4, right? Did I say that right? 5 points of strength. What is your strength score right now?
My current strength score is 4.
All right.
Oh God.
You cannot see this creature. It is amorphous. It has no face. It's a black sheen of just shadowy shimmers. It doesn't even throw its own shadow. It's just existing in nothing. But when it hits you, it's just cold that just draws your very life, as if your back was laying up against a solid block of ice with a bare back. You just feel it just pulling the very life force from you. All right, it is now Gashar's turn.
Well, I am unsure if I will be able to damage this, but I will try. So he'll step up to that and swing with his quarterstaff.
Can't you move to flanking?
Yes, I probably could.
What do you want to move to? Show me where you
I can
start.
continue moving around him, actually. Oops, that way.
All right. All right, you move around and flank
Swing
him.
with Flanders.
Perfect.
Might as well.
What armor class did you hit?
So I'll do the quarterstaff. I hit a 14. Well, we're doing plus twos, right? With flanking. So
Yeah, you get a +2 to
so
hit.
I hit
Yeah,
a 16 then.
that will hit it.
All right.
How much
does
damage?
bludgeoning damage do anything to it? He's 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
It does.
It's a magic weapon.
It is a magic weapon. That's true. It's the magic quarterstaff.
All right, it does seem to affect it.
Magic powered stick.
And then he will do, as a bonus action, he will try to attack it with his unarmed strike. He
Perfect.
can do that. And that's a 19. That should have hit. Well,
Nice.
21 would hit. So another 5 of bludgeoning with his fists.
You don't think your fists quite do that much damage to it. Like you hit it,
Not
you
yet.
kind of feel it kind of move around, but your stick actually, when you hit it, you kind of see a tear, like a,
That did much more damage than
and the tear kind of, you can see the shadows just kind of like breaking apart. You know, they're kind of like
Yeah.
trying to get together. But when you hit it with your fist, it doesn't seem to do that so much.
got it.
All right.
He'll even call out after that. My magical staff did much more damage than my own fists.
Blander, you see this creature, you turn around, you see this thing, you're like, oh no. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to shout some insults at it and do vicious mockery.
All right.
Attaboy.
What kind of damage does vicious mockery do?
Vicious
I mean, it's not
mockery.
necrotic.
Psychic, I believe, right?
It's yes, it's psychic. Yep.
All
It has
right.
to make a saving throw of
All right.
13.
What is my savings throw?
13.
13. Wisdom.
Okay. Wisdom savings throw. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. You think that it probably didn't do anything to this creature. You think it probably made its save.
Mm,
I believe that doesn't do anything out of save, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. That is Flander. That brings us to Waif. Waif, what are you going to do?
Oh, and one more thing.
Sure. Yeah.
As my bonus action, I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Finis.
Finis, you now have Bardic Inspiration. All right. What are you going to do, Waif?
I'm going to try and open that window.
All right. Go up and give me an athletics check to open that window.
0.
You literally, you kind of
Let
go
us
up
in.
you're like, you have those long claws and you're trying to like get it open, but it's slippery. It's old. You kind of, it's all dirty and you can't get your hands on the wet, and your hands are just covered in this gross, this like, it's like dirt and goo and
Maybe a
it
little
rained
shadow.
rained the previous day. So it's all kind of, it's still kind of like gross, your hands.
Does it appear that the window is also guarded by some kind of magical energy?
You don't think so? Well, you don't know. All you know is that Wave tried to open it and she kind of just slicked her hands over the cross of the dirt. She rolled a 0.
Okay. She might not have even tripped it if there was
Finis,
a
what are you going to do?
In his turn,
Yep.
Finis is going to cast Cure Wounds on Flander.
Mm.
Blander, your wounds will be cured. Round
8 points.
refreshes.
Thank
Hemo,
you.
it is your turn.
Okay. The door handle doesn't work, does it?
I apologize. I have another thing to do at the end of this round. So I'm going to take it. I forgot I had an action. I need to move this.
10 more shadows appear.
Could be. I'm vicious that way. You know that.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Okay.
You see this goblin run out of the shadows, thinking it's going to take its opportunity. It guided you into this trap, and it's going to try to use that to take out Gashar. It's not once and for all. So it runs forward out of the shadows, and it's going to try to attack Gashar. Ooh, I rolled a 19. I think I actually hit you. Unbelievable.
Yes.
I think I have a +4 to hit. Yeah. He hits you with your scimitar. He's going to do 3 points of damage or minimum damage to you. Scared. You bastard. He yells out as you killed the hobgoblins that he was working with and almost killed him. All right. Now, I apologize. That was my turn. Now it is Hemo's turn. Hemo, what are you going to do?
Okay. I just kicked the door and bounced off,
Yeah.
and now I'm gonna try the handle.
All right. You're gonna try to open the door with a handle. All right.
Yeah, sure.
You turn it, and that handle just keeps spinning. Just literally just keeps spinning.
Well, then I guess he's going to.
Abe says, "Try the window." I felt nothing.
Hemo goes up, and just takes his scimitar and just tries to smash straight through.
All right. You take the scimitar to smash through. Give me an athletics check.
That's a 17 that time.
All right. You hit the thing, and you hit the glass, and you don't know how is this glass resisting this blow. You hit it, and the glass almost ripples out like it's water, but it's in a black water lining. All right, that was Hemo. It is now.
You want to play some cards, or do you? I mean,
Hemo's just gonna keep for a second there. Hemo just wails on the window.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. Is it impenetrable, or is it just that you've not reached the proper difficulty? You're not sure. That's up to you to decide.
He's not sure,
right.
but he doesn't want to play cards. He wants to smash this window.
All right, that shadow. Let's see who has the most. Flander and Gashar. Who has the low? That's Flander because he's been sapped. You have the lowest strength. He's going to attack you, Flander.
Oh,
Well, he's going to hit you.
dodge, dive, dip.
All right, so
Dodge.
he's going to hit armor class. He's going to hit armor class 19. He's going to do 5 points of necrotic damage to you, and I need you to roll me a d4.
roll low.
What'd you roll?
It's a 3.
Is one strength.
You have 1 strength remaining.
You're muted as well. Graham.
He's
Flander,
not even strong enough to speak anymore.
you start feeling the weakness coming. Your body unable to almost comprehend what's happening right now. The images of your father telling you that you should have followed the way of the sword. Your long journey that leaving your home, all that's happened with Gundren and with Sildar and with the Tresender Manor and with Gariel and all of the things that are happening, all of it coming to this ill-fated, random, unannounced moment. How could this come to this? You're barely able to hold up your life. Your sword is weak in your hand. You're weak in your knees, almost unable to move. That brings us
And I just whisper, I will still die with honor.
Gashar.
He just like looks back at this goblin that stabbed him from behind and says, What is wrong with you? There is a shadow here attacking us. You too will die.
He just seems to be in this lustful, vengeful state.
You are a fool. But he'll actually attack the shadow still.
All right, go ahead and attack the shadow.
So if you're being flanked like this, basically any movement in this position results in an attack of opportunity with 5e rules. Is that correct?
Well, here's the thing. As long as you remain touching the person, the creature, you are not going to get an attack of opportunity. But if you move out of the 5-foot range of that goblin, per se, then you would get attack of opportunity.
Yeah, but in a flanking position like I'm in right now,
Yep.
Can't move anywhere because anywhere would move away from one or the other creature.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
right.
in a diagonally
That is
flanked
true.
position,
You're kind of locked. Yeah,
can't-
you're locked.
you can't
This
move
is
at
like
all.
Connect 4. Remember that game, Connect 4?
I don't know about that. 5e guys.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to critically fail my attack on the shadow. with
Oh,
my quarterstaff.
no. All right, you go to attack it, but see that table that's sideways? That table that's sideways kind of tripped. You get tripped over, and you kind of roll over on top of the table and kind of slide back up to your feet. That just in an awkward position.
Yeah, he doesn't like the way that ended it, and so what he's going to do, he'll still take his unarmed strike at this shadow. Maybe it does some damage. It does a 19 for 6 points of bludgeoning.
All right, you attack the thing, and you think that this bludgeoning attack that you did probably is doing something.
Something just not nearly as much.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's
How
better
much
than
did you
nothing.
do? 6, you said?
6, yeah. And then since that, oh man, he knows Flander is weak.
Yeah, Flander is very weak.
He's hoping that the shadow is going to look at him instead of Flander, just because he's actually doing damage to it now.
All right, you do that?
Yeah.
All right. That is
He's got
that
more
was-
strength, more points of strength than me.
Flander, it's your turn.
Okay. In one last desperate move, Flander is
Come on,
going to
dude.
cast
Come on, dude.
thunder. He's going to cast Thunder Wave on it.
All right, Thunder Wave. What kind of damage does it do?
Thunder.
Okay.
Thunder damage. Okay.
Thunder damage.
All right. Go ahead. It's going to do it in that 30 that 15-foot square, right? So you're basically going to be hitting Gashar and the Shadow and the Goblin, just so you're aware. Okay. What is it, a savings throw we make?
Yeah, it's a Constitution saving throw.
For half.
For half.
Yeah,
Okay.
for half,
What's the
yep.
save? 13,
And
right?
not being pushed back.
13.
All
Yeah.
right. So first of all, let's start with the Goblin. Constitution savings
Okay.
throw. Constitution savings throw. I have a +0. The Goblin rolled a 16. The Goblin made it, so it's going to take half damage and not be moved.
Mhm.
All right,
Right.
Gashar, let's have you make your save.
17.
You made your saving
made it.
throw. Now so you're going to take half damage. The Shadow, let's see what happens to that. The Shadow has a Constitution score of +1. And there, I rolled a 19, giving it a 20. Everybody makes the save. What is the damage?
2d8.
Roll it.
Okay. Let's see. It's 2d8. Yeah, thunder damage.
The table is
Big
just shattered.
money.
How much damage?
4
Oh.
points.
2 total.
So
2
So 2
total.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Now, here's what
That's
happens.
half.
Yeah, half is 2 total. However, that is just enough to still kill that goblin because he had 2 hit points left.
he goes flying against the wall.
This Shadow, unfortunately, only takes half damage from thunder damage, and it only takes half of that because it's made it saved, so it takes 1 point of damage.
You see it ripple slightly.
It just please have me miss. All right. Here we go. That was Flander. Waif.
Wait, doesn't Finis get a turn?
Finis
After
goes
Flander.
at 1, so Waif gets to go
Mhm.
first.
Okay, sorry.
I will try the window again.
All right, you're gonna try to open it.
Yeah,
You tried
Okay.
using your any magic key attacks.
17.
No, you when you go to hit it, you go lift it up, and as you do so, this black rippling effect just goes. Got to resist your pull. This like
That's about as good as I can do with athletics. So
yeah, you're just like you're just like I'm assuming you're kind of like stressed it out, just kind of lifting it up.
you can't do magic against inanimate objects. We had this discussion.
Darn.
Really?
I believe you can.
Because,
I believe
mean,
you can attack. I believe you can attack something.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Firebolt specifically says it
yeah.
ignites flammable objects hit by
Yeah,
the
I believe
spell.
like you can attack an item. Like everything has a certain amount of hit points to it, so you could attack.
Oh, in that case, I would have done Eldritch Blast.
I'll let you
instead.
do an Eldritch Splash instead. You may your person may not have realized it, but Wave probably would have known that. So go ahead and give me an Eldritch Blast and give me damage.
14 for 7 points of force. Actually, 10 points of force damage if it affects it.
10 points of force damage. The force damage does affect it. You see the thing goes and the window kind of cracks a little bit,
Mhm.
but you think that this window is resistant to your force damage. As you do see part of the black. It goes,
Some of it.
Yeah. So you do
It
5.
did do it.
You do 5 points of damage to it.
Half damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Or at least minus half.
All right.
Oh, That'll work.
Yeah, you're just like, screw this. Boom. Hits it. All right.
Let's
That-
slowly wave.
Yeah.
This window opening is not working. I will do this instead.
Finis, what are you going to do?
So it's a shadow, right? I want to try and just like walk up and cast light on it.
All right.
I light it. Like it.
What's that text of light?
I guess it can't target a creature, it's an object.
Right.
All right.
What do you-
How about I just try to light up the rug underneath them?
All right. With light, what kind of light does light give? What is the eminent feature of it? Is it dim light? Is it light?
Bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light an additional 20 feet.
Okay. All right. So you cast the light spell underneath it. And when it does, you notice that as the light appears through it, it doesn't create a shadow around it. It's almost like it doesn't exist in the prime world that you're existing when it comes to this light. This light shines up through it. Now, so it gives regular light, right? That's what happens.
Mhm.
This room lights up all around. Finis, Flander, and Gashar, you can see all around you this room. This room looks nothing spectacular. It literally just looks like a room. Why is this happening? What's going on? You have no idea. Whatever the case is, you do that, Finis. That is what you do. Round refreshes. Hemo, it is your turn.
Well, he would follow Waif's lead here and puts one of his swords away and fires a bolt of fire from his palm.
Boom! Fire damage.
Firebolt, yes. That's going to be a 19 to hit, 9 points of fire damage.
9 points of fire damage, which would be half damage to 4. All right. You hit this. You see this thing off. It's literally a spider web of cracks. It's like almost looks like almost like sugar glass where it just gets shattered up. Just a spider web of cracks, but you still have not penetrated it yet. You did 4 points of damage because you did half damage. Half of 9 is 4. Doing a total of 9 points of damage to this window. All right. That brings us to it. I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to attack Flander with this thing. If I hit Flander, it's
I'm dead.
very, very likely that Flander will not survive.
No,
What happens when you run out of strength? Do you go down?
Die.
You just die.
you just die.
No death saves?
Here we go. It has a bonus to hit of +4. What's your armor class, Flander?
My armor class is 16.
If I roll a 12 or higher on this die, it's going to be very,
I-
very bad for you.
Mm.
No, he misses you.
That is a 4.
Oh my god.
I looked at your die.
That's why you rolled it there.
Yeah, he rolled it out. He misses you.
Probably because of the light.
Yeah, probably because of the light. All right,
Mhm.
that brings us to Hemo. Oh, you already went, right?
Like,
yeah,
Hemo.
just went.
I'm sorry. They both have 22, so
Yep,
I forget
yep,
that
yep.
Hemo was first. Gashar, what are you gonna do?
Keep trying to attack it.
Come on, hit
Definitely
it.
doing some damage
Hit it.
already. So,
God.
so
Nice.
the first quarterstaff magic weapon, 22 to hit, 8
Yes.
points of bludgeoning damage.
8 points of bludgeoning damage. It dissipates into nothing. when that happens, the door opens and that glass that you had hit just goes, just folds in, and you can see inside the room.
It's quite brightly lit.
Flander on the floor in a little puddle.
It's just a puddle of Flander. There's
Pick up
no
the
more strength
goblin and I
now.
literally throw him out the door.
You do. The door kind of open. The door kind of hits open. Goes boom. You kind of roll. The body is.
Dumb goblin.
All right, and with that,
The goblin is dumb. Yes.
Really was.
all right. What's your plan? Are you going to be searching this village?
Not just now.
Search this freaking. Well,
This seems ghostly. This seems worth checking out on our ghost hunt.
All right. You take.
How do we heal Flander?
Good.
before I get inside. So
Go ahead.
in case
Yeah.
they,
Yeah, please come in.
I take Hemo. You're going to come in too.
Sorry about the ghosts earlier. They sort of blocked the door.
Yeah.
what were they? I saw nothing.
Shadow came from the floor.
I want. I think for this time, I'm actually going to give everybody a history roll, please. Tell me if you get a 15 or higher.
20.
6.
10.
All right, Gishar, you clearly remember Gariel saying that when she walked to try to find Agatha, she was attacked by the very darkness itself.
We have found the darkness that attacked Gariel.
But she said she was trying to find Agatha's lair when that happened.
We might be in the right spot. Then again, it might be to the north.
You know, you're pretty sure that Agatha was seen to the north. Why this is here? This may just be part of the curse of whatever happened in this place many decades ago, possibly hundreds of years ago.
Finis, this is your domain. Yes?
Sure.
All right, what are you going to do, Finis? Anything?
I don't. I'm feeling very tapped today. We just we should get him to bed.
Yeah, Flanders barely able to move. Like he just everything's his whole body's being weighed down. Could you imagine having the worst flu you've ever had and just being able to not even move your body? That's kind of how he feels.
I do not like
We'll have
this
to
room.
drag him out on a bed sheet.
When we came into here, I felt drained, lonely. I do not like it. We should leave this house if we are going to rest.
Do
Agreed.
you feel anything in here?
No, you don't feel anything of bad. You everything seems perfectly fine to you.
We'll help Flander. I'll grab him by the shoulder.
All right, you grab him and you're gonna move him out. Where are you guys gonna go?
I don't know. Maybe that first house, maybe the other house I poked my head into, wherever's got a roof and somewhere to put Flander on top of.
All right, I backed out so everyone can see where it's at. And why don't you point to me and where you think you want to go to?
Well,
I wonder if all of these buildings are haunted.
this
Yeah,
building
I mean-
had a bed in it and it's close.
We had where those hobgoblins were. We had no feelings of loneliness or whatever.
Oh, and they stayed
No,
there.
just two very, very dead hobgoblins.
But they stayed there and they probably thought it was safe. It should be safe from ghosts.
The one thing you'll know probably is that goblin knew what he was pulling you into.
Or did he? Since he is now dead.
It's a good point.
Dumb goblin. He kicks him as he walks past him.
Okay. Well,
My vote would be to stay in the hobgoblin house.
This seems smart.
Well, Flander can't even speak right now. So he's-
all right. You're gonna drag
he
Flander
might
over to
still
the head.
say, Dad, you're an asshat.
Yeah, we can help him walk over there. Anybody else grab the other shoulder? Otherwise, Gishar's
Sure.
reasonably strong. He lost some strength too, actually.
What did you lose a few?
Yeah, he's still at a 12, so he's strong.
Okay. All right. You drag the infirmed body of Flander back to the hobgoblin home that you had found right here, right? This is the one
Yep.
you're going to?
Yep.
That's
So what
perfect.
time of the day is it?
It's not that late. You think that's like about 5 or 6 in the evening. You know, it's not like so late that you couldn't travel still. However, the question will be, what happens in this town
At
after
night.
dark?
Yeah, that's
And you notice that this town of Conyberry has been vacant for a long time. Why hasn't anything reclaimed it? Well, these goblins have, but how long have they been here?
Can we see if they were sleeping in this place?
Yeah, give me an investigation.
He's kind of like looking to you guys as he's holding up
Are you going to go back to that house?
Flander.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself back to that house. All right.
Who's good at investigating?
Colin.
Yeah, you don't know what happened to him though. He's been gone for a while. All right, you go back there and you do some. What'd you get for your
Or
investigation?
Flanders.
Yeah, Flander, point if you see anything wrong.
Grown twice.
You're basically the man in black right now from Princess Bride. You're just like leaning. On.
We're just keeping him propped up.
If I let go of your head, it
I can
flops
take it for the
forward, right?
once.
Grown twice if you see something.
He's only mostly dead. I am the Grip Pirate Robert.
Mostly dead would be a fantastic
I
episode.
am holding
title.
him up and not paying any attention here. I'm trying to get somebody. I rolled a 1. He's looking in the room, but still just holding up Flander. Somebody else go look in there. 1. Yeah.
All right, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
What is anybody else going to go investigate?
I'll go take a look and get a 5.
All right, you're not finding any signs of anything like that. You don't see anything, but what does that tell you? Maybe you're not finding it. This looks like an old house that was just had a bunch of old stuff in it. You found that one book that had that strange book on the bell, but what does that mean? You don't know.
Doesn't look like anyone's using that bed.
No, it doesn't look like anybody's using anything in here.
I suppose I got a 5.
Yeah, I mean you're trying to find out if you saw anything. You don't see anything.
Well, Hemo can look around too.
All right,
He's not
There you
actually
go.
as dumb as he looks.
all right. What'd you end up getting?
A
Yeah.
22.
All right, you look around and this place looks abandoned. You're kind of getting the idea that these hobgoblins probably wander into town during the day once in a great while, probably hit up some people for some wealth where they can, and probably don't stick around. You don't see any signs of them making pots and pans. You don't see any places where they're going to the bathroom right around here. You don't see any food left or remains. They don't even have food on them.
I think Hemo relates that to the rest of the party. These dead goblins, they didn't live here.
I didn't see any signs either.
No, these
You're
guys
not lying.
are
You're
these
not
guys
lying.
aren't from here
Uh,
either.
me neither. I saw nothing.
Let's
I
leave.
see nothing.
I don't trust this. Let's leave. I don't like it.
Yeah,
All right, so the
if we're gonna
question is,
see
you-
Conyberry at night, we shouldn't be waiting here for whatever happens.
So the question was, will you take the trail north, or will you return back to where you're at, or you can keep going down the trail? I mean, the trail does keep going. Eventually, you'll reach Triboar and whatever other villages are down there. Man, you got to take the scenic route.
Let us I think we need to travel well outside these city limits and camp
All right, which way are you going to go?
and then back up the trail where we came from.
Yeah, that's probably the safest bet because we've already walked that. We know what's there.
We don't have enough to trigger another encounter.
Yeah, we
Right.
need to make sure Flander doesn't die.
All right, is that the plan? You're going to retreat
I
back down the
appreciate
trail? All right.
Flander needs a long rest, and we can take that extra time to like do reconnaissance if we need.
All right. You gather Flander and retreat down the road back down toward where you came from. You travel back up the ravine, and as you do, you see the tree line slowly rises back up and the town of Conyberry in the distance. You travel about, I'm going to say, a mile and a half. Does that sound good? I don't know. Whatever you tell me how far back
Half
you
an
want to go.
hour ish. It was good.
So you
Sure.
kind of travel, so you
Say
get
at least an hour.
Oh,
You want to travel about an
3
hour back?
miles out
Hmm?
of town. 3 miles outside of town.
Okay, so you travel about 3 miles out of town. The town of Conyberry getting to be small. I mean, it's not a very big town as it is, but it gets, and as it is, the sun starts setting and it gets later in the day, and you go to rest on a day that didn't start the way you thought it would be. You thought you'd be finding out where this Agatha creature is, but instead you decided to investigate Conyberry anyway, and had this strange thing happen, only to have Flander nearly die in a strange house that wouldn't open for the rest of you. So with that, we're gonna end it for the night.
Yep.
So,
And Flander just says as he drifts off to sleep, Conyberry, terrible place to play.
all right.
Star. If I could give it 0 stars, I would, but I can't leave out.
We haven't invented Yelp yet.
Could carve that into a sign outside of the village.
I definitely heard Flander
0
yell.
stars.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yelp
I don't
review,
know.
3 shouts of pain out of 5.
That's the best one. All right. Well, with that, we will pick up next time. I was hoping to get a little farther, but it's totally cool. That's what happens. Sometimes we just take an odd and meandering turn, and we will pick up.
Sometimes we nearly die.
Yeah, we'll pick up and hopefully get a chance to meet Agatha or whatever's on the other end of that stick next time. Again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Like and subscribe and all those cool things, and leave messages and whatever, and we'll be happy to take a look at them. So with that, you guys have a great night, and we will see you all next week. Thanks. Bye.